Good morning, evening, or afternoon. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the XP Podcast, episode 20 for the second week of this here year of 2022, August. I'm one of your hosts, Mike C. Joining me once again, back from the sun-tanned beaches of Florida, is the lovely, the beautiful, the Birdman himself, Logan B. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Back from a very, very good vacation. It was really, really fun. I'll get more into it when we talk about, I guess, what you've been doing. But really great time. Had a lot of fun. Really hot, waiting a lot of lines, but it was a blast. But yeah, we have a lot of exciting and controversial news to talk about this week, and I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. So.
I hate to tell you. Sorry if my voice sounds weird. Every listeners and Logan out there, I feel like a cross between a pile of dog shit and a steaming pile of dog shit. It's one of those two, or somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I feel absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it. As always, we start the show out with a question of the week. This week's question was brought to us by the Birdman himself, Logan B. So take it away, sir.
What is the biggest turnoff in any video game, mechanics wise?
You
I
go
don't know if you have
first.
an answer. If you want me to give.
Yeah, you go
Okay.
first. Talk about yours first.
Um. So this was kind of like a last minute, in the moment kind of question I made up. Um. I guess my biggest turnoff in any video game, especially anymore, is the live service model. I think that's probably my biggest turnoff. I do not like most live service games. Most of them end up being extremely disappointing, and I've been burned on so many of these games before. And honestly, as soon as I hear that, it instantly makes me not excited for it at all. It's the biggest turnoff, in my opinion, for any video game out there. What about you, Mike?
I don't know. I was thinking. I was Sorry about that. I was
You're good.
I was trying to come up with what to say, and I don't know. I don't hate live service games. I love Avenger. I think done right, live service games can be, I don't know, good, I guess. I want to defend Destiny or say Destiny, and I know that's like the best one out there, but I don't know. I don't care, so I would be misplaced saying that. But I'm gonna go say something that I don't know. I don't. I don't. I don't have really anything that turns other than like multiplayer stuff. But I don't hate multiplayer. I just don't really prefer to play it. But I can't really remember a mechanic or anything in a game that like I was playing a game and like, oh, this mechanic popped up. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not playing this. Then I pretty much play almost anything that comes out if it interests me, if it piques me. Give me a couple seconds to think a little heavy on it. I'm trying to come up with an answer here.
Okay.
I just don't know.
I was more just saying, like, I don't hate all live service games, but I will say that most of them are like just not good. Like, probably 85% of live service games, in my opinion, are all just not good at all. Um, they mostly just disappoint me because they will bring up all these, oh, we're gonna keep working on this game for like 5 years, and this could be single player, it could be multiplayer, it could be any kind of game, and it's become a bigger thing. And I will say, most newer games, they've been getting a lot better at it to the point where it's not as bad, but it really just depends. Because again, some of them just really bring up all these cool things they're gonna do, and then just don't do it. So that's where I'm just more like, it's just kind of like I was excited for it, and then it ended up coming out, and I ended up just being like, it's okay. I can't think of.
I can't.
There's,
Yeah.
I guess Avengers for me would be the last one, but I
See,
know you like Avengers, but for me, I don't like what they're coming out with now. I mean, they did come out with some pretty good stuff, but I will say some of it,
like what?
some cooler things I could think of that they said they were gonna do has still yet to come out.
From
So
a guy who's put 300 hours into the game, what cool stuff. Like the stuff that they at, I don't want to get into that. I'll go on a rampage. Like the game is the exact same
that's fair.
functionally
No, I
that
know
it's
you like the
been
game.
for
I
two.
just
I do like
know,
the game, but that's just because I'm
yeah.
I'm weird and like something clicked with me with it that I just liked kind of just hanging out every couple months and leveling up a character. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't mean I think the game is good at all. I don't think it's good. But like also, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, what even is a live service game anymore? Because like I would consider Fortnite, Warzone, all those games would be live service. I know technically they're battle royales, but they're continually updated all the time with new stuff coming. That's the identity of a live service game, is continually supporting the game. So like I think even those games, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, right now in the video game landscape, I actually think we have more good live service games than bad live service games. Honestly. Like we may not like Warzone, but Warzone is a good live service game. It's continually supported and people actively play it day in and day out. Like yeah, people complain. People complain about everything. People complain about Fortnite. People complain about I don't know, not having enough money. People complain about everything. I have no clue. I'm still trying to think. Sorry.
No, it's more just like I understand some games do it really, really good. Like I mean, Call of Duty's pretty good at it. I mean, I know Warzone and all that's really good, and I know people that love Fortnite. I know they constantly bring new stuff to Fortnite, so that's great. But I mean, there's like another part of Call of Duty. I think their main Call of Duty, their live service can be very iffy. Like I think they bring out some really bad content most of the time, and then there's like sprinkles of really good. Like I feel like they've kind of lost some of their creativity when it comes to map design, etc., which could be a whole thing about Call of Duty. Which I mean, I have been watching all the new stuff on some of the new Call of Duty maps that they've been releasing and showcasing, and they look a lot more interesting, in my opinion, than Modern Warfare 2019. So maybe they'll step up their game. But I feel like Modern Warfare 2019, the one negative that I really didn't like about their multiplayer was I feel like their map design was all boring. They didn't really spice it up, add some cool, just like different places. Like everything looked like the same thing. It was all desert. Here's a random forest with some weird factory stuff. So it's more that like I don't hate live service games because some of them can be really good and bring out mostly good stuff, but I feel like some of them are lacking and they bring out just okay stuff most of the time and some just really bad stuff. And it's more that I think that's some games that like I know that aren't going to be like Gotham Knights, for example. I'm sure is going to be a live service game. I mean, that game's already going to not be great from what I can tell, but I really don't think the live service is going to make it much better either. So I don't know. It just depends. So I just think it's a turn off because it mostly makes me wary of the game before it comes out. And it makes me a little less excited because I'm always wary about those games. I feel like one way or another, they're going to mess it up or they're going to make promises and they're going to fail. Like, for example, Watch Dogs Legion. I know, not a great game, but for me, I really enjoyed it. And they promised a lot of stuff in that game. It was supposed to be a live service thing. They were supposed to be bringing out stuff constantly. And not only was all the stuff insanely delayed and it took forever to come out with, but also they didn't even bring everything out. They ended support on that game only maybe maybe a year and a half after it came out. It is just disappointing. And I guess also a game that we've been playing and kind of enjoying was Battlefield 2042. Bad live service. It's taken forever to bring new content, and honestly, it for them to like say, "Oh well, here's this big season one patch," but all it was just one map. So like again, there's a lot of disappointments in
Oh, there
it,
were
and it just makes me more wary.
there were two guns. Give it some credit.
Two guns in a map. The map's great. We admit that. You played it too with me. It's a good map.
Yeah, the map is
But
great.
is it enough? for how long it took, no. So
It's fine for
but
me who wanted a
that's
$14.99
fair.
game that I could just sometimes hang out with you a couple times a night. That's
Yeah.
about all I
I mean, the
wanted
game's
from the
gotten
game.
better. Don't get me wrong.
It's like Avengers. It's hard to go downhill. Anyway, I'm sitting here thinking. I
Depends, but yeah.
I came up with a mechanic in video games that hate me. That turn me off.
Okay.
Soulsborne games.
That's fair.
No, it's not a mechanic. I'm just making a joke. I really can't come up with anything. I'm like RTSs. I'm like, no, I actually like RTSs. I'm like grid-based battle systems. Like, no, I actually like those. Turn-based. I actually love turn-based. I mean, I guess I'm not huge into FPS games in general, but that's not a mechanic. That's a whole fucking genre. So that's what I'm like. There are certain genres that I don't
I
love
guess
as much or I don't like, but like mechanics wise, I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm trying to figure out like, has there ever been a mechanic in a game or in a series of games or in a deeper genre of games that I just won't play ever? And it's like, no, not really.
well, I guess one you could do is more like maybe an overblown amount of content that's not good.
Well, that
You know,
that's
like
again
excessive, like a ton of side quests, but none of them are interesting.
that's a genre. That's called Ubisoft games.
Damn. Tough. Dang. We could just say Ubisoft in general anymore.
Yeah, honestly. But then again, I say Ubisoft, but every time see an Assassin's Creed news story, I'm like, well, let me look up, let's see how I can be disappointed this time. I'm a sucker, man. I talk a big game, but I'm a sucker. All right, I'm sorry I don't have
Yeah.
a significant answer for you, but that's all I got for you. It's hard to think. My head hurts. All right, leave me alone. I don't feel good. I need my mom.
I mean, what's just something like really small?
What?
What was that?
I asked what. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I don't know why I cut out. I was saying more like just something really small. And it doesn't have to be a complete turn off of the game, but something that just kind of like you see it in the game and you kind of roll your eyes and it's more like a just disappointing. Kind of a small turn off.
I will. Okay. Even though these are pretty much dead, they're not really around anymore. They annoyed the shit out of me when they were prevalent. So I'll just say loot boxes. Fuck it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I was
I,
saying like you could do some easy ones. You don't
well,
have to go
I
super
wanted
deep
to
or
say
anything, but I
loot
was just like,
boxes. Like that was my first thing, but they're not really a thing anymore. They're not. They're not really out there, and if they are out there, they're not real world money. You can only buy them with currency and stuff like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are loot boxes out there, and I just don't play the games that have them in them. But like, I haven't seen a loot box in a
Diablo
while.
Immortal.
Well, I mean, that's Diablo mode. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Mobile games.
Yeah.
Mobile games fucking suck. I hate mobile games. I didn't put
Yeah, honestly,
I didn't
I
put the news
agree.
story on there, but there's a new Avatar RPG coming out, and it's a mobile game, and it pissed me off.
No way.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
seen that, but
I
I didn't know
didn't
it
put
was
it on.
mobile.
I didn't put it on around the point just because we had quite a bit to talk to and talk about, and there was other stuff. But yeah, I was scrolling through yesterday at work, and I was like, "New Avatar RPG, hell yeah! Mobile game, fuck off!" I got so mad.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that is probably actually truly my biggest turnoff. I think it is truly like
I
as
just
soon as it says it's a mobile game, I instantly just be like, okay, well,
not playing that.
that sucks. I'm not playing that because it's it sucks because mobile games when they first start.
Well, I think we lost him. So I'm just gonna randomly talk about nothing for a little bit. Let's see here. Mobile games, yeah. Mobile games suck. No one likes them. Diablo Immortal, even though I did actually hear that Diablo Immortal was like not a terrible game, but it's still just a mobile game and it's not what people want it. Um, Other video game mechanics. Now see again, guys, people I'm talking to now because I'm not
Started.
talking to anybody. All right, well he's gone again. So I just don't.
Me?
Oh, there he is. He's back. You've been gone for like 2
Oh,
minutes, by the way.
I
I just been
really? I
talking.
was
Oh yeah.
talking for so long.
Oh no. I
Did
was trying to stumble
oh,
over a conversation with myself. So
oh, I was saying that basically, yeah, like old mobile games are good, new are bad, and basically, even though I'm saying this, probably the only mobile game that I'll try out is when they come out with the Warzone mobile. That's it.
by the way,
That's
blew my
probably
mind
it.
that it's still not out. I remember hearing back that in 2020, which I guess is really not that
Oh, I
long.
know.
I guess it's not that long. I mean, it's only a 2 year development cycle. I talk about I've been waiting for God of War for 3 decades. It feels like. Wait's almost over though. So.
Exactly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is the XP Podcast, our weekly video game and pop culture news podcast where Logan and myself sit down with y'all and talk about all the news stories and happenings inside and out of the video game world. We post a new episode each and every week so you can listen to it whenever your heart desires. You can find us on most of the popular podcasting services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. If you enjoy what we're doing, please support us on our Patreon, where you can be a part of our weekly discussions and give us your opinion on everything we talk about and everything we don't. You will also be able to find all of our uploads there, along with any exclusive episodes we may post. Links for that, are, as always, are in the description down below, or you can simply go to patreon.com and search Experience Point, spelled XPERIENCEPOINT. However, if you don't have any money to send our way, don't worry. We still love and appreciate you for listening and being a part of what is hopefully a growing community. You can also go over to our YouTube channel where you can get this show and all of our shows in video format. If you do, please don't forget to give us a like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you can be aware of everything we post when we decide to post it. New episode reminder for you. Our episode 19 of the XP Podcast is up, is live. It is me and DJ hanging out, talking about some video games, mostly about Pokemon and some soundtracks. There's some other things in there, so go and enjoy that. Later this week, come back to us on our channel and you can hear DJ and I's full in-depth review for Stray, the video game about a cat where you walk around and meow. Get excited about that. With all that out of the way, let's get into today's show. In our points of the show, we bring you our initial impressions for Cult of the Lamb, and our predictions for opening night live at Gamescom. In the news, we talk about the future of THQ Nordic. More delays are here. Call of Duty info is incoming. And also, Sony versus Microsoft is back on the table again, and so much more. But before we get to all that, it's time for What You've Been Doing, where we catch up on all things pop culture that we've been doing, whether that be gaming, TV shows, movies, books, and or comics. It doesn't matter because we love it all. So with that being said, the sun-baked Florida man himself, Logan, the Bergman, what, sir, have you been doing?
Well, as probably many will hear in the previous episode, I was out for a week. I went to Orlando, Florida. Had a scary flight on the way there. I will definitely say that. The landing was very scary. We had a lot of turbulence. A huge storm hit Florida around the time we were about to land. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. And lightning struck like very close to the airport, so I didn't get my luggage for like another almost hour after landing. So yeah, it was a little brutal start to the vacation, but from then on, it was basically smooth sailing. It was great. It said it was going to rain all week. Basically, didn't rain till the very last few days. Like I think the last, actually, I don't even think it rained the last day. So it only rained one day, I believe, the entire week, or at least from what we can notice. It was awesome. It was really good. Basically, just stayed at on Universal properties for the entire week. Rode a lot of rides. I have probably my new favorite roller coaster of all time now. It is the Velocicoaster. My God, this roller coaster is mind-boggling good. I've rode the fastest ride in America. I rode in the best park and everything, but this ride is amazing. Like I cannot wait to go back and ride it again. I rode it 3 times over the week.
I didn't know you've
It
been to
was
Kingda Ka.
great. What?
I didn't know you've ridden Kingda Ka. I didn't even know you've ever been to Jersey.
I thought well, at least the fastest I thought was Top Thrill Dragster,
No,
unless they updated it
no,
now.
like 2 years after Cedar Point built Top Thrill, Six Flags built King Dakar, which goes 4 miles an hour faster and is 10 feet
Oh,
taller.
okay.
Because it's
Jeez.
Six Flags. Got a one up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
Oh no, you're good. I thought that was, but it is whatever. But I know my favorite ride, to your point, was the Millennium Force or whatever. That one was awesome. I really like that one more than the Top Thrill Dragster. But this Velocicoaster, man, like it sounds really dumb from an outside perspective. Even the outside of the ride doesn't look as exciting as it probably could have. But as soon as you get inside and you really get in depth and you do some really cool stuff with actually putting like like actual animatronic velociraptors in the waiting area. Super cool to see. But as soon as you get on the ride, it is just so freaking good. It's like a mix between the what is it called? The Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios and the way that it shoots you out, but then it also does really just like super cool like twirls like pretty much the entire ride. You are out of your seat, and then it gets to this area where like in every ride where you think the ride's about to end because it's like a straight shot and it slows down a little bit. No, you get to that straight shot area and it just goes full force. Like it goes even faster. It really doesn't stop. It's no slow parts until the very end, and it's so good. And then one part it twirls you around, and there's this lake in the middle of the park. And so basically, like I could basically touch the water with how close I was to it because it turns you upside down. And if I probably put my hands all the way out, I could probably almost touch the water. And it was so cool. I mean, I literally think this is my new favorite roller coaster. It was great. Rode a bunch of other things. Got butterbeer every day because butterbeer at the Harry Potter areas is amazing. Love that stuff. Tried a ton of different weird foods. Like I tried burgushi, which is basically a burger mixed with sushi. It was interesting. It was really good. Um, yeah, I mean, I did a lot of fun things. Tried a lot of different drinks and stuff. Yeah, it was a good time, and I came back a lot more tanner than I was the first when I left. Um, but yeah, it was a good time. Got back, chilled for another few days because it was a very busy vacation where I basically woke up super early every day and stayed up till like basically midnight every night. It was great. I was really tired every day, but it was just awesome. Had a ton of fun. Bought a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, it's cool. It's a good time. But I guess other than that, that exciting news.
Quick, I want to cut
I
in
have been
before you
playing
get too
some.
excited. Real
Yes,
quick, can I cut in real
yes.
quick? I want to apologize to the audience. I was exiting out of some web pages on my computer and just brought up a really loud video on accident for like 0.2 seconds.
Oh,
My apologies, audience. That was not a part of the show. Sorry, go ahead.
so I've been playing some new games. Well, not just yeah. Well, I guess yeah, new games. They just came out recently, actually. I'll start with one that's a little bit older, and we'll get to one that we're gonna probably talk about a little bit later in the point of show. But I just wanted to bring it up. But I've been playing Two Point Campus. Uh, it's great. Like I'm actually super addicted to this game. If the other game, which I guess I'll spoil now, is Call of the Lamb, didn't come out, I would probably be playing that game and just for like hours. Like I've already put 10 hours into that game and it's phenomenal. Like it is so good. It is so fun. I mean, if you have Game Pass, you can get it right then and there. If not, it's really not that bad of a price. $40 is great for this game. You get an insane amount of content. I think this game is far better than the Two Point Hospital game, but that's also because the campus is a lot more interesting to me than a hospital is. But it is so much fun. Even my wife Amy has been playing it, and she is addicted to it as well. It is great. It is so much fun to play. I love everything about it. I love the customization and everything. I think it looks really good. It plays really good. There's just a lot going on in it, and it's very very fun. And yeah, I mean, if you want to play a game that's all about like basically, it's a little bit more comedy. It's not realistic simulator style of making a campus, but it is really good, and I like it. And I like the humor. I like the design of it. I like that it kind of reminds me of Wallace and Gromit. It has that very kind of art style to me, in my opinion. But it's great, and I highly recommend it. There's not really much other than to say other than it's a really good game, and I think.
And he is gone again, folks. This episode is just going well. Give me a second to get to him.
Sega, I'm thinking about it.
Oh, you're
It's a
back. All
very,
right,
very
hold
fun
up.
game.
So you cut out for
What?
about 20 seconds, so I'm gonna ask you to restart Discord for me. Bring it, exit out, bring it
Yeah.
back up, and I got something to say, so the audience doesn't listen to just silence for 20 seconds. All right, so go ahead and restart that. I'll talk for a little bit. Okay. All right, he's gone officially. Well, I have not been playing 2 Point Campus, not yet at least. I'm going to. I'm excited about it. I love customizable builders and things of that nature. That's kind of the reason I bought my PC and built my PC. I wanted to play Planet Coaster. I
Hey,
put You good?
yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what I missed, but
I was just telling them that I haven't got a chance to play 2 Point Campus yet, but I'm very excited to. I just got to get done with some of the games I'm currently playing right now, which I'll talk about when you're done. So, because I love
yes.
like customizable building games. I mean, I built my PC so I could play Planet Coaster pretty much, and I put over 200 hours into Planet Coaster so far. Uh, so I will eventually get to that, but I think you'll be excited about some of the games I'm playing. I haven't got a chance to talk to you about it. I've kind of been keeping them secret, other than obviously one, but we'll talk about that in point of the show. So anyway, continue on, sir.
Okay.
Hopefully everything runs
Oh yeah.
smoothly from here on
I,
out.
I don't know where I got what.
I said hopefully everything
What's
runs
up?
smoothly from here on out. I believe you were
Oh,
just kind
okay.
of you had said that you don't really have much else to say. It's just really good, and
Oh, good.
you were kind of rambling
Yeah.
about some of the things you like, honestly.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a great game. I don't obviously people need to know this too. It's not as deep as a game like Planet Coaster is. Planet Coaster is stupid in depth with how in like just so many things you could do in it. But I do think it's a decently in depth game with still a lot that you can manage and micromanage in it. I think there's a lot to it. Um, yes, there probably could be more customization in the game, which I think they'll be adding more of that stuff later on. Um, but there is still an insane amount of customization, in my opinion, and a lot of objects and a lot of things in it. Again, it's a lot like Two Point Hospital, but I think it's so much better because there's a lot more to it than Two Point Hospital had. There's a lot more things to go on, like events, a ton of classrooms, a ton of different classes you could teach, a lot of different skills for teachers, assistants, and janitors to learn. A lot of random events that can happen and everything. Again, I think it's a really good game. It's really fun. If you haven't tried it out and you have Game Pass, do it. If you have the money to fork out and you believe me, $40 is not bad. I think $40 is 100% worth it for this game. If it didn't come to Game Pass and I end up wanting it, I think $40 was so worth it for this game. So yeah, it is a great game. I'm very addicted to it right now. So addicted that it almost made it really hard to play the other game that I've been playing, which was called The Lamb. But yeah, so and then, as always, as everybody already heard, I've been playing Call of Lamb. We're going to be talking about it later, but yeah, I guess spoiler, it's I like it, but we'll get more in depth into that when we get later on and
Can
everything.
I can I make
But
a
yeah,
request from
yep,
you? Can I
yeah,
make a friendly request from two really good friends who hopefully will be friends for a long time? You will hopefully be a part of my wedding. Can I make an honest request?
yes,
Can you learn how to fucking say in depth? You always say in
I
depth.
did say in depth.
You say in depth, and it annoys the shit out of me.
Oh,
I'm just
in depth, in depth.
Depth.
I can't say it. God. I swear. Death.
Depth. Depth.
But it sounds like death.
Yeah, I know it sounds like death. I'm well aware. You sound
That's
like
probably my own fault. Yeah. I didn't know that.
sorry. I just wanted I
That's
just
a
wanted to
good
be
call
funny
out.
there.
I'm trying.
Sorry.
I'm trying to fix that.
There's something else that you say fucking weird too on the show. Like you say it quite a bit, and I just smile. But I just wanted to be funny.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm trying here.
It's cool. It's good.
You're good.
Depth. Practice and design.
Um,
P.
Deaf. Deaf.
No,
I
depth.
can't. Deaf. Fuck. Okay.
Oh.
All right. I'm giving up on that word.
That's good.
But
Just say deep. Just say deep game mechanics from now on. All right.
yes,
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna go with.
What else you
Okay,
got?
deep video game mechanics. All right. So, other than those two games, I guess I'll just go to a show I've been watching because I haven't really been playing any other games I can really think of right now. I was playing a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5, Mike's favorite game of all time, from what I could tell. I've been playing some of that too in the background. I guess I didn't get to really talk about, but we also played a lot of MultiVersus. I know he probably talked about it just a little bit in the last episode,
DJ
but yeah, we played some
DJ and I
Oh,
were
you've been
talking
playing
about
it?
Oh yeah, DJ and I play it quite
Yeah,
a bit.
it's
Well, not quite a bit, I guess.
yeah.
I got distracted with some games. One game.
Oh, I did get better at Harley Quinn. I actually really have starting to get her moves set down.
Well, that's good
I
because
played
like
a little bit of it.
I like look at a lot of tier lists, and every single tier list I've ever read has like Harley Quinn at the top. I was like, man, maybe Logan just sucks at this game.
Well, I did suck with her at the beginning, but then I decided, okay, I want to get better at this with her. So I actually went back in the training room, started to get her moves down. Then I did some bot matches to really kind of feel it out with other fighting other people. And then I actually started to do real player matches, and I've definitely gotten a lot better with her. I can actually hold my own even against the top tier people like Superman and all that. So even Taz, I beat Taz one time. So I think I'm getting a lot better with her. But yeah, that game's been really fun. We've been playing that. It's really good. I think the only thing it needs, and I know it's in the open beta thing, so it gets the excuse. It's in open beta, so if people haven't tried it already, it's free. So might as well. One of my friends didn't even know it was free for some reason. He was like,
Actually,
"Oh, is it?"
as
Yep.
of the day we're recording this, August 15th, it is no longer in open beta. Season 1 came out today.
Oh, it did.
And I'm stupid,
Oh,
and
sweet.
I'm stupid and forgot to redeem the battle pass, so we lost all those rewards. I'm dumb.
I actually did do the
Oh,
battle pass, so I got some rewards.
I'm dumb. I forgot about it last night because it's a stupid game called Culture of the Lamb that keeps distracting me.
That's fair. I'm excited to play as Rick and Morty. So I'm actually really excited for that. I was wondering when that season was coming out because I've been looking up the details. So I'm excited to see that in the new arcade mode. I'm really excited for that. Yeah, again, if you haven't tried it out, basically a free Smash-like game that's on all the things, but with some unique, cool mechanics to it that weren't in Smash. So if you haven't tried it, Mike has made me end up liking it because again, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I didn't think the art style looked that cool at first, but then actually playing the game,
I love the
it's
art
a whole
style.
different thing.
I
It's
love the art
really
style.
good, really fun.
You want to talk about real quick? Let's stay on the multiversus
Mhm.
track for just a little bit. You want to talk about some of the coolest detail I've ever seen that probably 99% of the players out there that just are casually playing it don't realize. When you play as Tom and Jerry, they're actually fighting each other. And like when you
Oh
do,
yes, yeah, I've seen that.
yeah,
It's cool.
when you do your moves, they like miss each other, and that's what hits the other opponent. And that is, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say this or anything like that, just because I like the game. In terms of, I've been playing games for shit. What am I, 30? Almost 31? I started playing games when I was like 5. I've been playing games for 25, 26 years. That is one of the most technical details I've ever seen a video game developer put into a game. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I state that. Like, game developers don't go into that little detail unless you're on the scale of like a fucking Naughty Dog or Creative Assembly or let's hope the initiative goes that deep with Perfect Dark, but who knows? Like there are very few developers that put that small of a detail that's missed by most of the player base. I just wanted to give credit where credit's due to the developer who I can never remember. Player First. There we go.
Wait, player first games.
I said that already.
That
You missed it.
I thought you said you didn't know.
Yeah, but then I immediately said Player First because I remembered it.
Oh, okay. I said it around the same time then. I guess it's
I got
delayed.
it first.
But yeah. But yeah, no, again, yeah, I mean, Mike's probably talked about it. You probably heard of it enough. But yeah, if you haven't tried it, it's free to play. I don't think it's actually that bad when it comes to unlocking characters. It's actually pretty quickly. I mean, yeah, you got to play a couple matches. It's not right away, but I don't think it's that bad. I think the only problem I have with the game is I think they need to make it to where you can unlock the skins. I think the skins, it's kind of dumb that you can only get them through actually paying real world money. They should have some skins, maybe at least, maybe not all of them if they want to. Some of them at least that you can unlock with coins or anything, just something that you can unlock by actually playing the game. I don't like that they have it to where it's specifically just with real money. Now, maybe that's something they'll add down the line because again, it did just get out of open beta. So it's now officially out of open beta. Now it's an official thing. But you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to play Rick and Morty. I'm very excited to play as Rick. I actually am going to do everything I can to get good at him, a good as playing with him and everything. So I'm excited for that. And I don't know if they added a new map or anything, but I'll have to look at that. But it's good. So anything else? I guess. Well, yeah. So shows. I've been watching the Umbrella Academy season 3. I'm finally watching it. It's been out for a while now.
Are you as
Well, not like a
disappointed
long while,
as
but it's been out for.
I was gonna say? Are you as disappointed as everybody else I hear is? I hear a lot of people don't
No,
like season
right
three.
now I don't think it's that bad. I think there's some characters that are a lot more annoying than I remember them being in the last two seasons because the last two seasons were great in my opinion. I will say one character specifically I'm not really enjoying. Even Amy doesn't really like her this season. So that's something, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm only on like episode 5 of like 10. So it is getting better. The beginning started off a little not like weird, but it was a little slow. But it started to get into it, and now the story's starting to build, and the mystery's starting to build as well. And it's very interesting. Oh, you know what? Wait, after this, I have another game I've been playing. I forgot. But uh, I'm really enjoying it though. It's still got that same Umbrella Academy kind of comedy and you know, I guess not always comedy, but it's just got good storytelling. It's very interesting. It's a cool take on basically people having powers. And every season seems to have the same kind of theme, which I won't ruin if you ever want to watch it. But it's really good. I like the first two seasons, and I think this season is still good so far. Haven't finished it. Maybe next week I'll have a different opinion, but I hope by the end of this weekend or this week I can finish it and then I'll have a better opinion on it. But the other game I've been playing is The Quarry. My friend, or me and my wife's friend, ended up buying it, and we like to. That's pretty much how I played all these games. Um, we went over to his house, I think, like 2 nights ago, and we all sat down and played co-op and played the game. And we got like pretty far into it. We didn't get to finish it yet, so hopefully soon we can go back over there and finish the rest of it because I really like it a lot. I think it's really good. It's very interesting. As always, the people are really stupid. They make some really dumb decisions. And sometimes you don't get a choice to not make that dumb decision. But I do think so far it's really good. It's very interesting. And I wonder if I could have gotten some of my people killed by now, which I can't wait to almost just go through it again. But so far, it's really, really good. I think the graphics are great. I think the storytelling is better than so far from what I remember of the anthology series. I think this is really good. I don't think it's on par with Until Dawn, but Until Dawn was just a higher budget game. I feel like compared to this, but I am really liking it a lot. I also like that there's a lot more characters that you could play as in co-op. Like a lot. There's like 8 characters compared to like the anthology games. And so far, there's a lot of still decision making, and it's really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting into the true horror part now, where the characters are starting to kind of figure out that something's not right. Anyways, that they've been kind of picking out details throughout the game that something isn't right here. But then they're, as always in any dumb, kind of horror thing, they're like, oh, it's not a big deal. We're just gonna play it off and act like it's normal. But now they're starting to figure out, shit's not going good. So it's really good though so far, and I like the characters, and I can't wait to play more of it and beat it. So, and I think that's been it for these last 2 weeks. I know it was a lot to take in, but I had to catch up.
All right. Well, like I said, I've been playing Cult of the Lamb. But we'll talk about that momentarily. Um, Other than that, I've watched one movie that I want to talk about, and I've been watching one TV show that I want to talk about. If Logan, you listened to last week's show, you know what this is. If not, I'll tell you in a second. But the games I've been playing are actually two games off the backlog episode. Both of which I think you'll be excited to hear that I have started and I'm working my way through. First one I want to talk about is I have begun playing and I'm mostly through the campaign for Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yes,
And
sweet. Okay,
okay, well, I'm gonna bring your excitement back down, but it's probably my fault. I don't love it.
why?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. It's just I don't I can't really explain what about it I don't love, but I can think off the top of my head like 4 or 5 campaigns of Call of Duty that are better. And it's I
Well,
understand.
yeah, there are better campaigns, but this one was still really good. I
I
feel
mean,
like they
I
did some
guess
interesting things
yeah,
in this one.
it is really good. I love the what people how do I want to phrase this? I love the attention to detail in terms of realism, in terms of how you go about playing it and how you go about going through the missions. Ding, someone's phone went off. I do have to say it might be my fault because I waited so long. Some of like the really cool aspects and moments don't hit for me like they probably did for you when you played it, or probably 95% of the people in the world who played it when you were actually supposed to play it. Um, but like oh, I can't even remember the name of the mission. Like the fucking best mission in the game, apparently, the one where you
The
infiltrate the
clean
house.
house.
Yeah, clean house. It's fine. But that's probably just because I knew that it was great, so I had the expectation of it being great, and then I also kind of let trophies ruin it for me. So because
Oh no.
I was obsessively trying to get the 2 trophies that are connected to um the mission. Oh, by the way, let me talk real quick. You know I love trophies. You know I go in for trophies. Call of Duty's Modern Warfare trophies are the worst fucking trophies I've ever experienced in my life. They require you to essentially, like what happened with me, to play the game in a way that's not at all the way that you're going to play the game, that you're supposed to play the game. One of the trophies in the clean house mission in particular is to, okay, well, spoiler alert real quick for anyone who hasn't played a game that came out 3 years ago, your fault. One of the trophies is to save the guy that gets shot through the door. I think his name is Alpha 32 or Alpha 23. One of the combination of those numbers. I don't
Yeah.
remember which one. And you want to know how you have to go about doing this, right? So you know
Yeah, don't you just like shoot right before you get up the stairs or whatever? Like when you're walking up the stairs, you shoot through the door
well,
to hit the guy.
you can try that, and if you get ridiculously lucky, you can take him out. But the problem is there's more than one guy. So the way that because I tried to do it a couple times and he kept getting blown up or shot every single time. So the way that was recommended to me on trophy sites to do is shoot the door until you essentially blast the door apart and then throw like 4 or 5 grenades into the room.
Jeez.
So that's what I did, and
Yeah.
it completely ruined the experience, and that's 100% on me. That's not on the game, but I do have to say that is on the trophies. Why would you make a trophy list that requires you to do things that would never be possible within the game? So, but that's my fault because I don't know. I do recognize that it is really good, and I actually like the characters. I like some of the story points that happen, but again, it might just be on me for like just letting it go so long before I played it. Because like I sit here and I'm like, yeah, OG Modern Warfare in my opinion better, Modern Warfare 2 better, Infinity War I think is sorry,
Well, Infinity War was just
Infinite
no,
Warfare.
yeah, yeah.
I mean that's one that you and I agree, and even DJ we were talking about it. We love and people hated it, I guess, and it's just like I think it's one of if not the best. Maybe Modern Warfare 2 beats it, but I don't know.
I do
Anyway.
think you'll like Cold War, but I know obviously you're gonna wait till it's like a lot cheaper. But I do think you would like that campaign still.
And I think that's also another thing is I know Cold War. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's wrong, because that game came out after. I don't know.
Yeah, it came out after. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that, but I was trying to make a point. I was trying to not defend my stance, to rectify my stance, and I guess it's not possible. Although I will say it's not bad by any means, but I've also never not liked a Call of Duty campaign. The one I disliked the most, quote unquote, is uh Ghost, and that's just because
Yeah.
it felt very basic. But like even World War II, I liked that campaign even though it was incredibly basic and it didn't do anything to surprise me or take me like to like shock me, which is a lot. I mean, it's what Call of Duty was based off of. It's what's set up with Modern Warfare is like that shock factor, that shock and awe factor. Like there's nothing even close to the nuke going off in terms of like shock factor or anything like that. So again, that's probably on me and that's my fault, but you know, I'm not saying anything that people haven't played. So, but the other game I've been playing, put about 8 hours into it. I was playing it pretty heavily for 2 days, and then Cult of the Lamb came out, so I stopped. But Watch Dogs Legion, game you just played, started that back up,
Oh,
and I
okay.
started playing that. Put on Permadeath, which I did do the first time, and I realized when you have permadeath mode off, you only get one character to start with. When you have permadeath on, you get three characters to start with, which made the beginning of the game infinitely more playable because you can jump around the characters and quick travel. And also, if you don't like the character you start off with, then you're kind of stuck with it. Whereas in permadeath, you can like bounce around. But anyway, off that, I really enjoy this game. I I enjoy it as much as I enjoy all the other Watch Dogs games. Like, I'll never say that a Watch Dogs game is like great or anything like that. Like Watch Dogs
Yeah.
1, fine. Watch Dogs 2, I did not like as much as other people, but that's because I didn't vibe with the setting. I don't like San Francisco. I didn't think the city was interesting. Um, I think the city of London is, I mean, again, it's a city. You know me in modern day city slash open world games. They don't vibe with me as much as other things do. Like I play this game coming right off of Cyberpunk, and while Cyberpunk has a litany of issues, and again the game feels like it's held together by duct tape and prayers. The city of Night City is masterful in terms of how it was built and the lore behind it and everything. And playing this game right after that game, or at least in close proximity to that game, like it doesn't even hold a candle. It's like not even comparable to put those two in the same aspects in terms of how a city is built and how well it represents itself. But I am enjoying kind of recruiting people and just kind of going about relaxing and playing some of the moments. So far, they've been kind of cool. Some of the missions are cool. There was this mission where I had to shoot down. Uh, I got like sorry, I stole someone's drone and I went in and like I shot. Dude, I fucking forgot what it was. Anyway, I'll get off of it. It's fine. It's a solid 7 out of 10. So far in the early hours, and I don't really foresee that changing because that's what pretty much all Ubisoft games have been, short of some of the more spectacular ones. I expect a 7 out of 10 from Ubisoft. Or at least I used to. Now, recently, not so much. I expect a 4 at this point. So, um, but so that's it on games other than Cult of the Lamb. Is there something else? I feel like I'm missing something. Nah, whatever. Anyway, TV shows. I am one episode away from being fully caught up on The Boys. I finally decided to dig into that and watch it all. And I know Logan's probably excited about that. He's been telling me to finish it up. I got delayed for some reason. I don't remember where. But so
I haven't seen season 3 yet,
so
which
I'm way ahead of you then.
yeah, I've been trying to get an Amazon account, which we do have one. I just need to sign into it and actually watch it, which I want to watch it. I'm very excited for season 3.
I made a statement last week, and DJ agreed with me on this statement, and I want to see what your perspective is. And this was my statement: was since the end of Endgame, outside of maybe No Way Home, outside of that movie, The Boys is, if not arguably, definitively the best superhero content we've had since then.
That's fair.
The only other thing that I think even approaches the realm of quality that this show has, especially character development and all these other things, is maybe something like Invincible. Um, I love Invincible. I think Invincible's incredible, dude. But you've seen that, right?
Oh, yes, I
Okay.
cannot wait for the next season.
Apparently, we might be getting it in a couple months. But one thing that we talked about last week, DJ and I, it is annoying how Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, all these things, they never announce release dates in like an acceptable manner. They announce it like, oh, it's coming out next month. Like, oh, Witcher 3, Witcher season 3, they'll announce that date like a month before it comes out. I'm like, why not just let us know beforehand? Maybe it's the fact that they don't know. I could very
Maybe there'll
plot.
be a delay too, you know.
Yeah, but
I
like
don't know.
they always do that. Like we haven't heard a fucking peep about Invincible season 2. The rumor is it'll come out in October, but like that's a year and a half plus from the time that the last season happened. Like, come on, look.
I
I
will
know.
say one thing I have that is even another annoying thing is I think Netflix is really annoying about how some things they advertise and some things they just don't. Like they just put it under the radar. Like clearly, yes, they advertise the crap out of Stranger Things, but like another, I mean, clearly they made 3 seasons of it, but Umbrella Academy, that nothing, nothing, not a single thing you could see. Maybe it'll be lucky to find a trailer on YouTube, but there was nothing like on TV, nothing anywhere being like, "Hey, Umbrella Academy season 3 is coming out," or even most of their shows. You must never see anything except for like big time movies like Red Notice or Stranger Things. They almost never make any marketing thing to show us, which I just think is so weird. Um, but yeah, that's one thing I find a little frustrating. I hate when they do that.
Well,
Like I hate when like they just don't advertise. Like as you said, it kind of correlates with what you're saying, that the fact that they don't tell you anything until a month beforehand. Like I had no idea about anything about Umbrella Academy until like maybe a week before it came out. I was like, "Oh, third season's coming. Okay, sweet." I was like, if it wasn't on my list, I would have literally not known at all. Heck, even when it came out, I think it also didn't help that they made it come out like maybe like a couple weeks after Stranger Things. Um, but still, like they just didn't even put it up there for people to see like on their main thing. Like when you click on Netflix, it wasn't even on there. Like it was literally just like hidden. It was almost like it was pushed under the rug. So I think that's weird.
sticking with the theme of excuse me, sticking with the theme of Netflix and bigger budget marketing pushes. Peyton and I earlier this week sat down and watched the new big time movie, The Gray Man, uh, directed by the Russo brothers, starring Chris Pratt. That's wrong. Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, and one of my new favorite actresses working today, Anna de Armas. Um, I've seen quite a few things that she's been in recently, and I think she has a good place in a starring role as an actress moving forward. Anyway, we sat down, we watched this movie, and I will say two takeaways from it. I think the movie is visually stunning. Obviously, the Russo brothers directed the movie, so it's going to look good. It's going to pop on screen. The second thing I'll say is it reeks of over directing. I think everything looks good, but there are so many shots, so many cuts, so many edits that just feel like they got too much attention. There was too much effort put into it. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say the term over directed. It just feels like, these shots were made and these shots were put in the movie because it would look cool, not because it would heighten the different aspects of the movie or film or whatever you want to call it. It happens quite a bit. I think Zack Snyder, one of my favorite directors, I mean, he's famous for over directing, you know? He's
Yeah.
famous for over directing the shit out of movies. But it's not really a huge negative. It's just something that kind of takes you out of the experience sometimes. Like, there's these drone shots in the movie that are ridiculously cool looking. And, like, they're swooping and they're doing all these cool things and they have nice little turns and everything like that. And it's cool when it happens. But then you realize you're like, I only noticed that because it was cool. It didn't heighten anything that was going on in the movie. I much more prefer like scenes to be statically shot and not, I'm talking about like old school, like where the camera doesn't move for 4 minutes. That's boring as hell. But what I mean is like it's framed well and the camera's just kind of sitting there and you're watching the action play. Think the Iron Man Captain America fight in Civil War. Like that fight is not overproduced, it's not over edited, it's not over directed at all. It's the camera blends away from the background. You don't realize the camera, you don't realize the shots. You're just watching these two men and you're invested in the fight. And the camera adds to that by staying out of the forefront of people's minds and the forefront of people's viewing experiences. It just lets you view the movie through the lens of the camera. And I think that's where cinematography and direction come hand in fist to heighten any scene in a movie. It can happen. But other than that, rant, I will say the movie's really good and I really enjoyed it. Nothing blew my mind. Like it's a spy thriller movie. Again, that looks really good. You know, so maybe over directed, overproduced, but again, 90% of the people who watch the movie won't care about any of that. So you gonna watch it?
Maybe at some point, yeah. I don't know when, but maybe if there's maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll do it this week. I'll
I will
probably watch
say
it alone because I know Amy doesn't care about those kind of movies. So
I will
I'll
say
probably
the
be the only one that watches it.
the rant that I went on makes me seem like I didn't like it more. This movie's like a 3.5 out of 5 for me. Like I think it's a good movie, good to great movie. I will say though, Ana de Armas is good in the movie. She doesn't have as big a role as I would like to see. Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans are the stars, but man, Chris Evans, he can play a fucking villain, and when he gets into this role, because this is a very campy James Bond esque villain role for him. And man, when he gets into it, it is so much fun to watch him do some of the stuff because it's preposterous some of the things that he is doing on camera. And I just think he's really good at being a campy villain. Like after watching this, I'm like, can we please get can we please get Chris Evans to be the next James Bond villain and make him like a campy ass James Bond villain? I would watch the shit out of that movie.
By the way, have you seen Knives Out? Because he was pretty
No,
good.
I,
Okay.
I know he's really good. The only reason I haven't watched Knives Out yet is because I cannot forgive the director for what he did to Star Wars. And I just, I know that's a dumbass reason, but that's my reason why I was very excited about that movie, but I can't watch a movie by him yet. I still haven't forgiven him for Episode 8.
That's fair, but it's really good though. Like I really liked it. It was kind of a surprise to
Which
me.
makes me hate it
But
even more, because, like,
another
clearly the guy can fucking make a movie, you know?
oh, I know.
Duh. Which makes
But
me hate it even more. Sorry.
that's no, you're good. I mean, that's fine. I don't like that movie either. I honestly I didn't even know that. But
Yep.
um I wanted to throw in a little surprise, little tiny little news thing, but I
Woo.
know we talked about this not long well, not like a couple months ago, I'd probably say now, probably even longer than that. Weirdly enough, Zack Snyder's Justice League finally came out digitally, so you can actually watch it now, other than HBO Max. Because I
Oh,
know we
okay.
had this talk like a long time ago about like because you're like, oh, it is on there, and then you end up seeing that it wasn't because it was only either physical or HBO Max.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
weirdly, I was on Vudu because I was gonna show Amy Jurassic World because she's never seen Jurassic World, and then we rewatched it, and I love that movie. And I randomly just came upon it. It just said Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm like, wow. took this long to finally come out. I
Well,
was
that's
like, okay.
fucking annoying because I bought the 4K version and didn't get a digital code.
Oh, I know. That's what made me so mad too, because I remember
That's
getting
annoying.
it. I didn't even look to see if there was a digital want code with it, but I wanted it physically because I did at that time I didn't care to get HBO Max just to watch it. And I also just wanted a physical of it because I think the movie's great and I like it. And then there was no digital, and I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. And yeah, now you can buy digitally. That's kind of annoying, but yeah, it's $15. If you haven't watched it and you don't have HBO Max and you don't want to buy it physical, you can buy it now digitally for $15 on Vudu and Apple and whatever else. So,
Well, that's all I got. I don't think I have anything more to say. We're already an hour in. Let's dive in. We're gonna
yeah.
have to move quick through some of this stuff. So, do you have anything else, man?
Nope.
All right, so that was what you've been doing. Where Logan and I sit down and tell you guys and tell each other everything that we've been doing throughout the week and or weeks that we've been away. Please be a part of the conversation, be a part of the show, and let us know what you guys have been doing on our Patreon pages, on our page singular, on our YouTube page. Let us know what's been going on. We are gonna move in now to the point and or points of the show. We have two ones this week, one big one small one that probably won't take up too much time. But the big one is, since Logan and I have both been playing Cult of the Lamb, we always owe it to you to make an impressions, to let you know what we're thinking about it before we make a review, if we make a review. So before I get into my initial impressions, go around the table. How long have you played, Logan? Where you at?
I think I'm about 7 hours into the game now, 6 or 7. And I'm about halfway through the game now, I would think, because I have defeated two of the other
Bishops.
what bishops?
Bishops,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. I keep forgetting what their names were, but yes, I defeated two of them. Um, are we just going in and giving our opinion now? I didn't know
No,
if you were just asking how long.
I was gonna give you how long I've played and where I'm at,
Okay.
and
Yep.
then
How long you played?
if you don't mind, I was gonna give my initial impressions first, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course.
The reason is because, ladies and gentlemen, last night I rolled credits on Cult of Lamb. I played 17 hours in 4 days. um,
Damn.
and I honestly don't know where to start. I played 17 hours, like I said, in 4 days. I was enthralled with this video game. You can ask Peyton. I don't know how the audience would ask Peyton, but don't stalk me, please. That would suck. I think this game is fantastic. I think it's not a masterpiece or anything like that. There's nothing fantastic about it. There's nothing mind-boggling about it other than just the simple act of playing it and how I think impressive and just cool it is. But I love this fucking game, Dan. I said I was enthralled with it. The most I've been enthralled with the video game since Horizon, easily. I don't put 17 hours into a game throughout 4 days very often. And yeah, I couldn't stop playing it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't get away from this game. I talked with everybody at work about it. I let them know what happened because I named all my cultists after people that I know. So like you were one, DJ was one, Worthy was one. The people at work that wanted to be a cultist, I let them know what happened with them. They said, "Well, I want to be a part of your cult," which was a weird thing to talk about at work, but
Yeah,
that's what we did.
that's amazing.
Peyton got a couple. Yeah, my family got some. My family dogs got some. My dog got one. So, and it is moments like that and some of the things that I've done in the game to the people that I named after these cultists. It's just pure unadulterated fun. That's what I think this game is. It's just pure unadulterated fun. Is the combat a little shallow? Yeah. Is the base building the best base building we've ever seen? No. Taken as a whole together, all the disparate parts this game has, everything that's trying to be, it's trying to be a roguelike, it's trying to be a base builder, it's trying to be a sim in a way. Taking all that in its disparate parts, is any of that better than anything we've seen before? I don't think so. Other games have done it better. Especially in the roguelike, there's been a lot of other games that have done that aspect better. Even though I don't really I don't really think this as a roguelike as much as what was said before the game came out. I thought that was a little bit of a false marketing push there. But anyway, put it all together, and I think this is a fantastic video game. The easiest recommendation I've made in a long time on this channel. And especially for $24.99, $25. Y'all out there, if y'all listening, go spend $25 on this game. Support these developers. Support the people that make the things that you like, and go experience this game and just have a good time with it. What do you think after your quick initial reactions, man?
First question, what happened to me?
So you managed to live a long, thorough life and died of old age. You want to know what happened to Peyton?
Yes, sweet. What happened?
So the first Peyton, I made a couple of them. And by the way,
No.
I spelled everyone's name weird. You got two people. Both of them lived pretty boring lives and just died of old age serving me. Peyton, though, she decided to be a fucking wild child. So she was one of the first people to descent on me. All right?
Oh no.
And this is before I had everything built up to what I have now. Like now I have everything figured out in the game. I got jail cells, I got farming going, I got industry going. I have everything that, like, nothing really surprises me, and I can handle anything that the game throws at me. But this was beforehand. So what I did is I waited for everybody to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I fucking killed her.
Yeah.
And then everybody...
I was about to say, that's exactly what I did to my first one, too.
And then people were getting kind of hungry, so I harvested her for meat and then fed it to my cultist. And then,
Damn.
later on in the game, I was like, you know what? I feel kind of bad about that. So I brought her back to life. I resurrected her. And then you know what? And then I said, you know what? I still don't like that you dissented. So after I brought her back to life, I decided that she was going to be, not really my guinea. Demon? She was going to be my guinea pig, and I was going to relinquish her to a life of being my servant at all times. So she was my demon each and every run, along with a couple other of my cultists that I actually liked. I made them my demons because they gave me good abilities. Peyton literally didn't do anything. She was like the worst one. She added like half a heart to me. That was it. But she was forced to be a demon each and every run and never got to live out her life in peace. And then right before I beat the final boss, I sacrificed her one more time.
Oh, that's amazing.
But it's simple things like that you can do in this video game, and it's stories like that I can tell people. It's, me going into work, and one of the guys I work with is like, hey, what happened to me? I'm like, man, you died of old age. Sorry. Like, you're dead now. So this game has so many of those stories that you can just create. It's like you can just create the stories on your own. And you can do so many twisted things. Like towards the end of the game, I needed a lot of power. So I was using my cultists a lot. So I brainwashed them. So their faith never changed. And then I forced them to go on a fast so I didn't have to worry about them eating. And I forced them to work for 3 straight days so I didn't have to worry about anything as I was out trying to beat some of these bosses. And because they were brainwashed, their faith never changed. They were starving and working nonstop for 3 days and nothing happened.
I love that. It's so cool.
Dude, it's...
I actually, I just unlocked the that brainwashing thing. And the working for nonstop 2-day thing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I can tell you that I'm very close to the platinum. The only thing I have to do is collect the rest of the tarot cards, which all I gotta do is buy them, and then I gotta collect all the cloaks, capes. I forgot what they're called. The thing that your character wears. Those are the only 2 things I have left to collect, and then I gotta beat each of the 4 bishops without getting hit, which is not gonna be easy because the second bishop is a bitch,
it's gonna be hard.
Dude, this second bishop, man, I don't know if you struggle with it as much as I do.
Oh, I know.
That frog one? Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude. No, because I got there and
it took me like
more
3
shitty.
or 4 tries,
man. Heart left. And then I was like, okay, the last one wasn't too bad. I was like, so all I gotta do is just, get it. But he just like constantly threw stuff out. And then when he started spawning in his, minions, I'm like, come on. I was like, I barely already have health. And this dude's like spawning in like 15 frogs. And I'm like, God. Like, dude, it was the first round was a disaster. Second round, I had better luck. But it was brutal.
Yeah, it took me like 3 or 4 tries, but some of those tries that I attempted was because of bad RNG. I just had terrible. Well, I had that fucking axe for one of them, and that axe is awful. That axe is like the worst weapon in the game.
Really? Dude, I hate the claws, dude. Those
Oh,
claws
okay. The
make me
claws are the
so
worst.
mad. I hate the
Yeah.
claws.
Well, because
And the hammer. The hammer sucks too.
I actually got really good with the hammer because there is animation canceling. So like if you're winding up and
Yeah.
you're getting ready to hit, you can just roll out of the way. And once I learned that, I got really good with the hammer. The claws suck because they only do real damage on the final hit of the 3-hit combo. And fighting a frog that jumps around all the time and trying to get a
I
3-hit
know.
combo in, that is honestly bad game design, in my opinion. And that is one of the complaints I have is that sometimes it's bad game design. But man, let me tell you what, the swords are dude, the swords are where it's at.
Yeah, to me, the swords and the axe are surprisingly my favorite weapons.
I
I'm
see it, yeah,
really good with the
yeah.
axe. I every time I get the axe, I destroy everything. I'm really good with that. I got the hammer for the first time at like 6 hours into the game, I believe. And man, did that throw me for a loop? So maybe it's just because I've used it once, and that's why it surprised me when it does that super slow
It is,
animation
yeah.
thing. But yeah, I'm really good with the axe, really good with the swords. But yeah,
See, I
I
think
guess you'll.
the swords. I'm not gonna say it's the easiest way to play the game, but it kind of is. Like you just kind of attack and dodge. The hammer does take some maneuvering and positioning on the battlefield to get really good at it. And I did get good at it, but I'm still best with the swords because people who know me, Logan knows me, he's played game with me. I just run into a fray and don't care. I just try to get out of there. So then that fits that play style. But I did get really good with the hammer. The only time it came to kind of hurt me was in the last dungeon area zone biome. I guess they're technically biomes. Yeah, the final biome has some. I'm not gonna spoil it. Has some enemies in there that move around a lot again, and they're a lot harder to hit than the frogs because the frogs you can actually interrupt in air. I learned that 20 hours in. Well, not 20 hours, but 12 hours in. That if they're jumping at you and you hit them, it'll actually cancel their attacks. I learned that too.
Huh.
Not the big frog. The big frog's a bitch, and I am not
Yeah,
looking
the
forward
small
to.
ones.
I am not looking forward to trying to beat that second boss without getting hit. I think the rest of them I'm pretty good at. I didn't die to a single one. I just died to the second one over and over again. The rest of them I managed to get through without dying. I probably died a total of maybe 10 or so times, maybe less. It's not a hard game, but it does challenge you from time to time. But as you level up, it gets pretty crazy. I took I took a screenshot that I was gonna send to you after you get a little bit. I didn't want to send it to you because it does have some things on there, but I had a row and a half of hearts and like 9 tarot cards. I was fucking loaded on this run, dude. I was and then I had the the highest level weapon. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but the highest level weapon, and it's the highest level sword, and it is a fucking monster. Anyway, I've been talking for a lot. What do you gotta say?
Well, for my like 7 hours, I mean, I think it's 7 hours, maybe more. I've been absolutely loving this game. I'm gonna get into the faults of it real quick. There are some really, really annoying bugs in this game that I originally like the first few days I played this game wasn't that bad. But I think it was yesterday, I was playing it, and every time I went in the church to do something, it would just break. It would it would go to do the thing, and then it would just freeze up on the screen, and I couldn't do anything. And I just sat there and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. So I quit the game, came back in, and went back to do it again. And then it kept doing it over and over again. Just everything I did in that church, it froze up and broke everything. Like all the animations broke. It would just, it would be in this constant state of them just standing there looking, and I couldn't do anything about it. So, I mean, the best fix with it was just to completely quit out of the game and then go back into it. That's what actually fixed it for me. But at first, I thought I could just fix it by playing the game, but that was very, very annoying. And I did find out that you can kind of break the game with those. What is it? What was it called? The what were they? The why can't I think of the damn name? There's the doctrines, then there's the whole doing the normal thing at the church, and then there's the whole you have to have bones and
The
stuff to
rituals.
do. Ritual. I can't believe I can't think of the name, but yeah, you got it. Ritual. Uh if you somehow can save while doing it, it actually breaks it to where it'll still do the ritual, but when you go back into the game, instead of it going into that cooldown, it instantly is gone. So I found
Oh,
that glitch because because of the game breaking on me.
whoops.
So I did the ritual, and it got me stuck on it. So I saved the game, went back to the main menu, go back in the game, and it still did it. It still said I did the ritual, um, but the cooldown was gone, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that was a cool little glitch I found." But yeah, the other annoying problem I had with the game with when it comes to like a bug is, and this is like not a huge deal, and I hope they fix it soon. But I like to design my cult. I like to put a lot of details into it. I like to put a lot of decorations. I like to put paths and everything. Well, I put this path down at the beginning of the game because they're free. You can put down as many as you want, and they don't use up any resources. So I used the wood planks and I made a path. But then I ended up unlocking a stone path. And I'm like, okay, I like the stone path more. So I put the stone path on the wood path and it was all good. But then every time I play now, it like blinks in and out like there's a floor under it. And I've tried removing it and putting it back and it doesn't fix. And then even another annoying glitch is I put down some path items, I delete the path items, and every time I come back, it's still there. I literally can't delete them. They're literally just like I tried deleting them multiple times. I've quit the game completely, went back in. It will never go away. And it's really annoying, and it's a really, well, it's not like really annoying, but it's, for me it's frustrating because I'm trying to make it look a certain way, and all I keep getting is these weird glitches where like some of the flooring is flickering and doing weird things. And I even did this one whole area where I put all my lumber yard and the stone mining area. I put this huge thing of flooring there under it because that glitch was going on. So I thought, okay, here, then I'll just do this. I'll just make all the floor this. Well, that didn't fix it because now some of them are just not popping up, like as if I didn't place it there. So I don't know what's wrong with their paths in that game, but they are broken and they are quite annoying because I'm trying to make my cult look a certain way and it keeps doing that. And it's like, it really bothers me. And again, it's not a huge problem. It's not game changer, but for me, it's tedious because I like customization. And when you do that, it's pretty annoying.
I mean, I don't know
But other than
about
that, I mean, that's
I don't know about the pathing, but when you like destroy something and then you say you go back into it, is it like you quit and then reload and it's there? Because if you don't, you actually have to tell the game to save. It doesn't auto. There's no auto save in the game. So if you
No,
try
no,
like
I know.
just
I did.
okay,
I did.
I
But
was
like
like,
what I mean by leaving, I will literally delete that, go into do the dungeon, come back, and it'll be back. And
hmm,
no matter what I've done, I've saved, quit, played for multiple days. This path will not go away. I have placed it like way back, and it just will not go away. I've tried everything, and it just will not
yeah,
go away.
that's
It's
odd, yeah,
stuck there
because
forever.
I've experienced a few glitches, but nothing like that. The only real major glitch that was annoying is in one of my um they're not called smelters in the game, but the thing that you can like make higher level stuff with
Yeah,
lower
yeah, I
level
know what you're
stuff.
talking about. Yeah.
It starts with an I. I can't remember the name of it, but uh, one of them just stopped working. Like I couldn't get any of my cultists to go do the job. They could only do the job at a lower level one that I placed down, and that was the only kind of annoying glitch to me because like it actually prevented me from making more materials, which slowed me down on my building of the cult. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I haven't experienced any of that. All my pathing and all that has worked not perfectly because the game goes a triangle, so it's kind of hard to make a straight path. Yeah, I'll have to send you a. Well, I'll wait to send you that video of my cult to a little later when you get there because I don't want to spoil any of the like unlockables or some of the decorations that you can unlock. But yeah, I'm just like you. I spent most of my 17-hour playthrough, probably a good 10 hours of that playthrough, is me just walking around the cult, designing it, moving things around, setting things up, dealing with the cultists and all that. That is the big portion of the game. I actually think that is probably 70% of the game, is doing the more simmy aspects of the game or builder aspects of the game, and the actual combat is a much smaller portion of the game.
Yeah, the only other, and this isn't really a glitch, I think that's like it's a part of the game, is I had this really dumb thing happen to me, and I wish it would have told me this before I did it. So I made the demon's summon circle. I made a level one. I went over there. I had a really high level faller, and I'm like, I don't really care about this faller, but I want to make a really good demon. And he had a really good ability where he sucks up the red orbs for you. And I'm like, that's sweet. That's a good one. And he was a really high level one. So I did that. I summoned him and everything, and then I ended up unlocking the second level one. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Now I can have two. So I put the level two thing on there, rebuilt it, and guess what? Demon's gone, wiped from the earth. And guess what? I even worse. I brought that faller back from the dead, and guess what? It's a different ability. Oh, thanks, game. Brilliant. Really happy that you literally took away a really good ability that I just unlocked from that faller, and it's gone. Because I mean, how was I supposed to know that putting a level 2 thing on there was gonna delete the demon that I just made? So that really sucked. That's another kind of minor thing. So people out there that play Call of Lamb, don't put a level 2 on there if you have a really good demon in there, because guess what? It deletes it. And I don't know if it deletes more than one. So if you make more than one, just be wary of that, because I didn't know that, and now it's gone. So just be wary of that. That was a really annoying thing that happened to me. That was like really, really annoying, because
Yeah.
I had a really good ability and it's gone. So now I'm trying to build up more followers to the point where I can hopefully get another one of those. I haven't found another one of those yet, but hopefully I'll get there. But I think that's really the end of like where I've been kind of upset. I just want to get that out of the way. Other than that, I mean, pretty much what Mike has said is exactly how I feel. This game is great. I've been really loving it. I find it really, really fun. I love the customization with your followers. I love that you can name all of them, so you can get like a connection to them. I love some of the follower missions. Like some of my favorite was I had this new follower come in, which I thought was just really funny how this happened. So I killed one of the mini bosses that become a follower, and that follower was sent to my world, and I added them. And then later on, I found another follower. Well, it was a cow or whatever. And this follower was like, "Hey, can you make this follower eat shit?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, why not? I mean, I want some extra faith." Well, then literally the next day, she's like, "Ah, that was a good one. Let's make him do it again." And I'm like, "What? So you want the same follower?" And by the way, this follower that I killed the boss, it almost seemed like everybody was just bullying this follower that I added. And I just thought it was really funny. So then after that second time happened, not only that, a third follower came up to me and he's like, "Hey, uh, that guy's a traitor. So you should put him in jail." And I was like, everyone hates this follower that I just added because everyone is picking on him. And I just thought it was hilarious that they kept making me make that follower eat shit, and then also say that they're a traitor and everything. And I just thought that was hilarious. Like that is like one of the random things that just happens in the game, and it's absolutely amazing. Like it
Oh
cracked
yeah,
me up when
there's
that
a whole
happened.
bunch of them that go in there. There was one guy who came up to me. He was like, "Hey, I love you, and I want to be a part of your soul forever. So when it gets dark, can you kill me?"
That's
And
what happened to me the other
I
day, and
was
it made
like,
me so
"Sure."
sad because it was one of my favorite followers. He just came up to me. I call him the White Tiger, and he just came up to me, and he was a really good worker. He's been there forever, and he's like, "Yeah, like, can you kill me at night?" And I'm like, oh, "What?" I was like, "Why? Like, you're a good follower. Like, why did you want that?" And yeah, I almost got caught doing that too, because like right when I killed the follower, everyone woke up, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "I gotta pack this person up." I decided to bury that one because I felt bad about cutting that one up because I like that follower. Some of them I didn't care about at all, so I just cut them up right then and there. But yeah,
I've
that
buried almost everybody. I have a whole graveyard that I've designed and it has like its own entrance and everything. And yeah, I have a whole graveyard and I designed it to go in a pyramid. So as people keep dying, just keep building off this pyramid of dead people. Um, you were talking about one thing that was a fun little mission, and this required me to pay close attention, and I might have just got lucky that I was paying attention, but it actually happened with you. So
really,
you and one of the people I work with, it popped up on the side, become friends because like your followers can talk to each other and engage and become friends with each other, and I believe it helps them level up faster. So I noticed that it said I named you Liegon just because I was getting fancy with the
yeah,
names. So it said Liegon and Eric have become friends, not the Eric that you know. It said a guy from work.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, okay. And then you guys went to bed, and I did the sermon the next morning, and then popped up an exclamation point over Liegon's head. I was like, all right, what's up? And he was like, hey, I want you to kill Eric. And I was like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
Absolute fucking betrayal by Liegon. So I went back to the church and I fucking sacrificed Eric. And then
That's
you
amazing.
and then you came up to me and you were like, "Thank you. You would not believe the things he was saying about you." And I was like, "Jesus, fuck this game, dude." Oh,
Dude, I think the hardest decision in this game for me was when I love, by the way, the doctrines in this game are awesome. All of them just add this different kind of rule set to where you can build the cult how you want it to be, which I think is awesome. It is really cool and it's very interesting some of the stuff that it allows you to do. Again, like how I would take this game just from like a standpoint for like people that maybe not play a lot of games or something like that, is this game is kind of like, it kind of does remind me of Animal Crossing in the way with that, uh and a little bit of clearly other games. It's not exactly like Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing is a lot more depth when it comes to customization and building and stuff, but uh just having those like rules that you can make really reminded me of Animal Crossing, and I really like that. Like, it let me just kind of build the cult how I wanted to. I think the hardest choice I had was when it gave me the choice between making to where I could marry my followers or have two random followers fight to the death in front of me, and I was like, why? Why did it give me this choice? I really wanted to do the two followers fight each other. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Amy wanted to correct me too. It is also very much like Stardew Valley. If you've never played Stardew Valley, it has a lot of that too as well. But yeah, that decision was hard because I did want to marry one of my followers, but I also kind of wanted to see my followers fight to the death in front of me. I thought that was really cool. But again, it's stuff like that's so cool about this game. Like again, it's really awesome, just those random moments, and that's not even talking about the whole side stuff. Like, there's a fun little dice game you could play. It's not crazy, but it's a fun little dice game you could play. And everything you do in this game, anything that pops up, you are bound to unlock something new, which is cool. Like, you go play this dice game, you win against them, you get a card or something, or you find this random creature in the sea at night, and they give you a little piece
I
to
was
this
okay.
thing that will help
I was
you
actually gonna
unlock
pull it
what?
up. That's actually a whole side quest.
Really?
So you could find him in 4 different spots across the game, and it's a whole side quest. And the way that side quest ends is it's crazy. It's not like insane or anything like that. It's like what it makes you do. It's like, oh damn, man, that's fucked. So yeah, I would go to all the different areas, the 4 different areas that you unlock. Well, there's actually 5 total by the end of the game. But in different spots at night, you can peer into the darkness. It's called the Darkness side quest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the only major side quest in the game, other than like the small little um, follower missions.
But yeah, no, I really love that stuff. Like, and I mean, I feel like anything I did in something that you're bound to unlock, see, do. I really like the fishing. I did a lot of fishing. I probably an hour of my playtime I feel like has been fishing. I've been catching so much fish. There's a lot of rare fish you can get in the game. Um, it's really just in depth with a lot of, well, not as in depth as some other games, but it's still very, there's still a lot going on in this game. With the fact that you have all these followers building relationships, you can really kind of, and again, you get to, I mean, they even straight up say in some of these rules that you put in the game, they literally say, you're the cult leader, do what you want. And that's the whole thing about this game. Like, you play it how you want in a sense. Like, you could be whatever kind of cult leader you want. You could be a very good cult leader that really cares about your people and never does any bad. And that's how it is. Like, it's really cool that it allows you to kind of do that. And I like that it has so many different side locations you unlock throughout the game that have really cool little side missions to do. Like, I've been doing the mushroom guy. I did the fishing guy. I found that dark thing, as I said. There's a whole lighthouse thing that I've been doing. There's the whole dice game that's in this game. Like, and the dice game's actually really fun. It has a lot of strategy to it for how basic it is. It's really fun. Um, and then just doing the dungeons is really, really fun. I mean, yes, there's a lot of RNG to it, which kind of sucks sometimes because sometimes you just get a really, really bad hand, like getting the claws and getting the ink spill ability. Like, why? Why do you hate me, game? But
Oh,
uh,
I don't mind the ink spill as much as that stupid defensive shield thing. I think sucks.
well, I haven't gotten that yet.
I think it's awful, man.
But it's great. There is still somewhat kind of roguelite in it though, because like after you beat the bishops, you unlock like an infinite thing where you can go through and it'll let you just keep going through harder and harder levels, which I guess you unlock some bonuses. I haven't done it yet because I've been too scared to leave my followers for too long, because at the time that that first unlocked, my followers weren't very, as I would call them, sentient to the point where they could do everything themselves, because I didn't have all the things where they could start doing like the cleaning up thing. I unlocked that now. But like, that's another cool thing about this game. When you start off, you are helping your followers build this cult. Then the more and more you get up, the more and more they just start doing things themselves. That doesn't mean it takes all the control away. It doesn't mean that, but it just makes things, easier. It makes it feel like that you're truly building a true cult, and they're doing stuff
Oh,
for
yeah.
you, and they're doing it all, and it's great.
Yeah,
And I
cuz
like
like
I like all the what's up?
yeah, like when I started out, I made sure I did all the farming. I picked all the plants, I planted all the seeds, I built all the stuff, I cleaned up everything, and now I don't do any of that. It's all automated. I tell my
Yeah,
followers
and
what
it's
to
really
build,
cool. I
and
like that.
they go off and build it for me. They clean up after themselves sometimes. Sometimes they're a little lazy. I do wish there was
Honestly, I
a.
kind of
Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just this. It's honestly a thing I wish Animal Crossing would add, because like I
Yeah.
feel like that's one thing it kind of doesn't do. Like, Animal Crossing that'd be a good addition where you're building up, but certain things start to become more automated,
Like I
and I
do
like that
wish
stuff.
I do wish there was a better way that you could see who you have assigned to what task. Because like I have so many
Oh
tasks now,
yes,
and so many. I mean, I have 27 followers in my thing. I have a lot,
jeez.
and I just wanted to have a big old group of people. It's not 27 now. I think 27 was the highest. I think it's at like 22 now. I started kind of taking some dudes out, but yeah, one of the times I got back from a crusade is what they're called, and like I'm like, why hasn't anyone picked anything? And I guess it was because nobody, or the people that I had that were there had died or something happened to them, and there's no real good way to like pull up a screen and see where all your followers are assigned. So there's no like good way to manage that, and I wish it was a little bit more I could micromanage and like assign people from maybe like a screen, like maybe from the pause menu, you can go over to the cult and see which people are assigned to which, so I could better make sure all the jobs are getting done while I'm not there. As you get said a lot more people, it gets really confusing sometimes. Like, all right, these two people are here. I don't have anybody at the smelter. I thought I did. Now I gotta reassign someone to that, which put me behind in my building. And so I wish it was a little bit more micromanaging. I wish it was able to micromanage a little bit more, but that's a very minor complaint, and what, in my opinion, is one of the better games I've played this year.
No, I totally agree with that, because there's a lot of times I'm like, man, I kind of not only wish that you could see, look through, like, I know you could go through the menu and see all your followers and everything, but yeah, I agree. I wish that you could see what jobs they're doing, and tell them to do like click one and make them do certain jobs. And also just make it a little bit easier to find them sometimes because I feel like, I mean, I haven't gotten to where you are, so I bet it's even more chaotic. But I'm at like 14 people. Even then, it's like, man, I'm trying to find this one guy so I can do I can praise him, you know, and give me the bonus devotion and everything. Because I like to go through when I'm there, go through everyone and do the devotion thing so I can bring them up and level them up and everything. And it's hard to do that sometimes because like some of them are there, some are here, some are all over the place, and it's kind of stressful because especially when they all start to group up together, it's kind of hard to pick them out because you're like looking for the X button to show up where it shows a different name, and it's kind of difficult sometimes to do that. I do hope
You want to talk
in a
about?
free update because they already said that there's a roadmap where they're bringing updates. I kind of hope they do bring that as an update. That would be a cool little update to where you can micromanage your people and tell them like what you want them to do.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of nice.
because like there's certain points where like someone dies and like I come back to the cult and like the all around that person throwing up and I'm like I'm trying to get to him so I can fucking wrap him up, but there's like 20 people
Yeah.
around. I'm like, move, fuckers! So I gotta wrap
Yeah,
this person
yeah.
up,
Everyone
then
starts
bury this
running over to
person.
the dead body, so you
Yeah,
can't pick it up. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of my way! I'm trying to pick up this dead body.
but
Like, I love that. Yeah,
yeah,
because then
let's.
everybody starts throwing up, and at the time I didn't have the janitor thing, so people there was just throw up everywhere, and I'm like, I gotta clean this up too. Like, people, get out of the way. Uh,
So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I think we talked. I mean, 35 minutes. That's enough. I don't think we need to make a review on
no,
this. I'm to the
but
point now.
I
Obviously, I beat it. I will put a score on it. We can come back maybe next week when you beat it, and you can put your final score on it. I don't think we need to make a separate video. We've talked long enough here about the goods and the negatives on this. I will
could
comfortably.
I just
Sorry, cut in. Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to cut in before you get your review. I just want to say, as Mike said, this game's $25 and it's more than worth it. Like, this game is insane. The fact that they only charge $25. I mean, heck, it's great, and I'm happy that they did that. But yeah, it is very, very, very worth it. And if you have an extra $25 to play a game like this, and you know what you're getting yourself into, it is a great game. It's very worth it, and it honestly has so much content, and it kind of surprises me that it's only $25. So yeah, if you haven't tried it already, or you want to try it out, and maybe just want to hear our opinions, whoever's opinion, or maybe we're a part of the factor of what you wanted to get this game, I highly recommend this game. But yeah, I guess Mike's going to get to his review score real quick. So, what you think, Mike?
Well, like I said, I mean, DJ and I were kind of talking off screen, and I kind of am curating a list for when we do our game of the year, and I want to have like a top 5 and then one like honorable mention in terms of game of the year. And I was looking ahead, and I'm like, yeah, there's some games that I'm excited about. Obviously, God of War, I'm through the roof for. I'm excited for Plague Tale, but I honestly don't see any of those other games, obviously outside of God of War, unseating this game or enough games coming out that I love to kick this off my top 5. So I can confidently say right now, August 15th, 2022, Cult of the Lamb is easily in my top 5 games of this year, and I firmly believe this is one of the most worth it games, like Logan was just talking about, in terms of price to content. Yeah, it's not as infinitely replayable as something like Hades or something like I guess Returnal is a way, but I don't know firsthand. I just know third party what people have said about that game. It's not an infinitely replayable um roguelike, because I just don't think the combat is kind of deep enough to really invite you to just go on run after run after run after run. You can if you want to, but I don't foresee myself. I foresee myself getting the platinum and then rolling out until they come up with a new update. But I will say, for me personally, this game is a 9 out of 10. I'm comfortable giving it our gold trophy, which is one of our awards here. And I think, yes, this is very easily one of the best games I've played this year. And it says, if you do have $25 and you're kind of bored like I was, and you're not really playing too much yet, there's some things coming here in a couple weeks that we're going to start getting busy with. But This is the perfect time for this game to come out. And if you want to get absorbed in a fucking weird, unique video game, fork out to $24.99, buy this game, and enjoy yourself for 15 to 20 hours. Anything else, Logan?
No, I'm kind of happy that like for once, like an indie like, well, I guess it's a triple I game as they call it in the industry. Um, it's kind of exciting and refreshing to play like an indie game for once. Like I don't really play a lot of indie games, so this is a big deal for me, and it's great. So I don't really have much to say other than just if you have the money and you have the time, get it.
Yeah. 9 out of 10. Any quorums about that score, sir?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All right, well, moving on now. Well, I guess, hold on, not yet. Those of you out there listening, let us know what you think of Cult of the Lamb if you played it. I realize I got through it fairly quickly. That says I was pretty absorbed. That's all I did. Got home and played it. So if you have got a chance to play it, beat it. Let us know what you think about it. Tell us some of the cool stories that have happened with your cultist, because there's a lot of different things that can happen. Second point of the show. Now we're gonna go on to Gamescom opening night live. The date has been announced. Some details have come out. Jeff Keighley, the man running it, has come out and said the show will be about 2 hours long, with featuring over 30 games. He says, he goes on to say, we've got some good stuff. We haven't really announced the lineup of companies that will be there, but I think we've got some cool surprises and things that I think people wouldn't expect to be there. There are a lot of games. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have 2 hours of content to show you, including gameplay clips, trailers, and announcements. He continues, says this year is a lighter year for releases that are coming out later this year, so a lot of stuff will be about what's coming in 2023 and beyond. But yeah, I think people will be hyped, and I'm very excited for fans to see some stuff and be in the room, Mr. Keighley said. So what I wanted to do, like we always do, we talk about these things. I want to take some time and just get some predictions of what you think is going to be here. I will tell people out there that especially in 2022, lower your expectations maybe, because Jeff Keighley, while I like the guy, I think he's one of the most important figures in the video game industry. He did kind of overpromise with Summer Games Fest, another show that he put on, and if you listen to our reaction to that, I did not like that show at all. Logan didn't dislike it as much as I did, but we both thought it was a pretty lacking show. So, other than that, so I just want to sit back, maybe, 20 or so minutes and talk about what you think's going to be here, what might be here, anything that cool that's going to be here, and all the ins and outs in between those things. Take it away, sir.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen this before. Um, so I don't know if they've done this in previous years. If they have, I have no clue. But I feel like we're gonna see a lot of what we've already seen most of this year. Maybe sprinkle in a couple indie and smaller games, and maybe, just maybe two big surprises, possibly. I don't know how many of these are gonna probably be released within this year. Who knows? But I don't know. I mean, I'm still curious to watch this, but I really have no idea what they're gonna bring to this other than I mean, they said they're gonna bring Sonic Frontiers, which has been in everything by now. Um, but I don't know. I guess there'll be some new things, hopefully, that'll be very exciting to see. And like probably some indie titles. So hopefully some really cool ones like Call of the Lamb. That'd be sweet. Not exactly like it, but some cool ones.
I mean, I think there's some things we could see. Um, One thing we are fairly confident in is that PlayStation will not be here. PlayStation and Sony have not been a part of Gamescom for quite a few years. Information for you, Logan. Yes, they have done this before. This has been the second or third year. No, this will be the third year that they've done an actual press conference. But Gamescom has been around for a long time. It's Germany's E3, pretty much, to liken it to something. Um, but some things that there's things on the horizons that I think we want to see. Maybe some Elden Ring DLC. I know that's been floating around the interwebs space. It's been, 6 months since the release. It's likely
Damn, it's
that,
been that long.
yeah,
I didn't even
February.
realize it.
It's been 6 months since Horizon too. So whenever Sony does finally talk about stuff, we're probably gonna get some Horizon DLC. There's been plenty of rumors. I think we're almost guaranteed to at least see a new trailer for uh Call of Duty. Call of Duty 2021.
Oh
20, oh
yeah.
my god, 2022, not 2021. Um I think there's things that we're guaranteed to see. And doesn't surprise us. I honestly don't have any clue because the only thing right now that I'm questioning is we don't know a lot of what Sony's doing, but they're gonna do their own showcase. They're gonna do their own thing. Probably, honestly, fairly quick. I would I would be a betting man if I was a betting man, I would say within the next month we know what the next couple of years of Sony's lineup is. They're gonna come out. They're gonna have the big PlayStation showcase, probably late August, early September, like they always do, and we're gonna get to see what they have planned for us. Whether we like that or not, who the hell knows? Because we don't know really anything outside of God of War and what Insomniac is working on. Um, so that's the one I'm most excited about. Um, yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think, and it's like I don't know how much Xbox will have a presence here. They've said they're gonna be at Gamescom, so but I don't know what they're gonna bring. I highly doubt we see anything Starfield here. Maybe some of the smaller titles, like maybe we might see an update on Redfall. Let us know how that's going on. Um, I don't think we see anything from the studios that we're waiting to hear from. I'd be surprised if we saw anything from, if we saw the next Gears or we saw what the coalition's working on. I'd be fucking shell shocked if we see what the initiative is and what Perfect Dark is. I still honestly think we're a year plus out from seeing that game since there has been so many news stories about some of the things that have been going on. Except there was a news story recently saying that development's apparently going well. So that's good to hear. I'm excited. I can't wait to see Perfect Dark. But yeah, I think I don't know. I said, am I excited about this? Yeah, kinda. But most of the showcases we've had this year have been pretty lacking. I mean, Xbox's was good, but I think it was overly long, and they've already said this is gonna be 2 hours, and I'm like, man, do we really need another 2 hour show? We already know most of the games that are coming out in 2023 because they were supposed to come out in 2022 and they've been delayed. So we know most of the big games that we're getting next year is the games we're supposed to get this year. So, but is there anything you want to see updates on? I guess is there anything like you know is coming out next year? We've seen before, but maybe you want to get an update on. It says obviously outside of Sony and Nintendo, they don't go to Gamescom. That's not really their scene. They do their own thing. So, is there anything from Xbox that you want to see updated? I said I would say some of the smaller titles would be here. Or is there anything from some of these other production companies like Square will probably have some stuff. Maybe Devolver Digital will see some of those small things. We just raved about one of their games for 35 minutes. So anything you want to see, like I was saying, any updates?
I would like to see a date for that new Marvel game. That would be nice to see.
Oh,
The Midnight Suns.
I don't know if you've read ahead in the document, but there was a news story that we will be talking about. Number 8.
Oh,
Disney and Marvel announced their first ever showcase will be in September. So we'll definitely see that there. So because that's what I was thinking of. Like I was very confident when I first started thinking about what we could see here. And then, Call of Duty came out, announced they're going to have their showcase. We'll talk about that later in the show. And then Disney and Marvel came out and announced they're going to do their own showcase also in September. So we'll probably see those games there. So that's where I was like, well, fuck. How the hell do you have a 2 hour show with Call of Duty is going 2.5 weeks later? Disney and Marvel are going a couple weeks later. Sony's going to be going somewhere around that time. And I'm sure we'll hear something coming up here in the next month or so, big from Nintendo. We haven't got a huge one from them in a while. So it's like, what could be here? We just got the THQ Nordic, which wasn't an amazing show, but I enjoyed some of the things that were there. We got some cool reveals, in my opinion. It's like all these companies are doing their own thing, which I actually enjoy. I like, Call of Duty coming out and be like, hey, we're going to talk about Call of Duty for the next X amount of minutes. Or Disney and Marvel saying, hey, we're going to talk about what's coming from our studios and our partnerships for the next X minutes. I said Sony and Nintendo obviously do their own things. I guess maybe the point I'm trying to, back road turn my way towards here is like, do we need these big conglomerate get-togethers like the E3s, like the Summer Game Fest, like this Gamescom thing? Do we really need those anymore? Like, obviously they're not going anywhere, but like, I don't know. I just kind of sit here and think, is like, everyone does their own thing now. I don't know if we need these big come together moments like we used to have, say, 5-6 years ago. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. Like sometimes there's those stray games that, that sometimes don't get put into those bigger ones. So this is kind of like their space, for like some of those not like connected to either Xbox or PlayStation. Those more like third party, available on anything kind of games would be perfect for these kind of things. Like I know there's those indie showcases, but that's only if they make it on there. So like this is their way of making it on here. I don't know. I just feel like these probably will always have a place because there will always be those games that aren't connected to any of the bigger, you know, giants like Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, or I guess Disney and Marvel now having
Yeah,
their own showcase.
like I just kind of sat back and I was thinking. I saw something on the document that reminded me is that Warner Brothers has a pretty good track record at being here and showing things at this event. Most recently, in was it last year? Game Awards. Whenever they announced Mortal Kombat, it was at a Jeff Keighley show. So
Oh
Jeff
yeah.
Keighley seems to have a good relationship with Warner Brother Games, and I know we've gotten some news here and there about Hogwarts. We're going to again talk about it. It seems like we're talking about everything that we want to talk about here. So in a bit, but maybe we see some new updates on Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe we've gotten quite a bit in the past couple weeks. But there's obviously Gotham Knights, there's Suicide Squad. But Gotham Knights is on IGN first this month, so we've got a lot of new information this month about that game. I don't know what
What about
else.
Suicide Squad? I feel like that hasn't been touched on in a while.
Yeah, it hasn't been talked about
That would be
since
a good
they
like
announced the
opening to
delay.
like, hey guys, this game still exists. Like, because it's been covered up.
it's still coming. We haven't canceled. And who the fuck knows what's going on with WB, man? With all the stuff that's going on with Warner Brothers. I guess it's technically called Warner Brothers Discovery now, is the company name, now that those two guys have joined together. With all the movies being canceled, everything that's going on. Now there's a new story that, the Batman 2 hasn't even begun filming yet. So that we're not even sure if that's going to actually make its way to existence anytime soon. And then there's
And
also
how about those
rumors.
shows?
What?
Like the Penguin show and all that?
Yeah, there was all those plans. Like, are those still the plans? It's like there's so much going on with Warner Brothers. And while we have heard some rumblings that Warner Brothers Discovery, and I guess more importantly, Discovery, isn't too concerned or in depth with their game output, it sounds like they're leaving that kind of to Warner Brothers to shepherd and herd forward. Who knows? Whenever you get two companies coming together, things can change at any point in time. People boards combined, and people make weird ass decisions. So that would suck if the Batman 2 got canceled. I don't care about Batgirl. I
Yeah,
know
I really
I
hope
know a
that
lot.
doesn't happen.
I know a lot of people are mad about Batgirl. It doesn't make sense that that movie got canceled. It was done. It was filmed. It was in its.
Wait, is it
It's,
really done?
oh yeah, no. Warner Bros. Discovery just straight up canceled. It was in post production. Like they were editing it and making it, and it just got canceled.
Man, they need a Zack Snyder to come in then.
Well, no, and they've officially announced that they are moving on from the Snyderverse. They just hard cut. They said They even went so far, the balls on this fucking company to come out beside and say, yeah, we all know that you love the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is not the real Justice League. The Justice League that was in theaters is the in-universe Justice League. And I was like, okay, well, you guys just don't give a fuck about us, do you?
Yeah, they've just been making horrible decisions one after another. Like,
And I
I
don't.
wonder if that Flash movie's ever going to come out because
Well,
so much
that was
controversy.
actually a story I read yesterday. Is there's been so much news about that with Ezra Miller and everything that's been going on with him. Um, I'm not a law guy, so I can't speak to the reality of what he's done. It sounds like he's done a lot of bad shit, but I don't know. I'm not a law guy, so I'm not gonna talk uneducationally about that. But yeah, there's a story came out yesterday that maybe that is gonna get canceled, even though we've got a trailer again. That movie is now within a year from being put to theater, and it's like maybe that doesn't make it through. Anyway, we're getting off track here, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with that company, man. There's so much shit happening. That thing's crazy. We can do a whole episode on Warner Brothers Discovery, but just don't touch MultiVersus. Leave that shit alone, please.
Yes, please.
But is there any? I'm trying to think of any other developer that we haven't heard from in a while. Any other game? There's that Little Devil Inside game that I've been excited about for a while. But I feel like, again, that's a Sony thing. Sony's back to that. Sony's probably going to want to show that when they're ready. I don't know how the fuck it's not ready yet. That was announced at the same time that Stray was announced, and we haven't even got an update on that in over a year. There was last year they had a whole state of play dedicated to that game, so it seemed like they were pushing it, and just radio silence since then. So who knows what's going on with that game? Um,
There
yeah,
is a cool I don't remember the name of the game. I always forget about it, but I always see it randomly. But I do think there's gonna be new news about this. It's that weird mix between like Half-Life and BioShock, but it's like in Russia, and it's been like talked about for like a few years now. I think it was supposed to like have something at the last show, but it didn't end up coming to have a showcase about it. But I think it's supposed to come to this game show, if I'm thinking correctly. I can't. I'm gonna look up the name of it, but yeah, it's like this weird, cool, like Russian, like Half-Life game in a sense. I really don't know how better to explain it, but I'm trying to
yeah.
remember what it's called.
It's definitely not Stalker you're talking about, but Stalker could be here. We could get an update on Stalker. What do you
Yeah,
about that?
Stalker would be great to see.
And one thing that we were on the Warner Brothers trip that I completely forgot somehow is do we get another update from Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman was at um the the Game Awards. Wow, that escaped me. It was at the Game Awards last December. Haven't heard anything from them since. Do we get an update on Wonder Woman? That'd be kind of cool. I'm weirdly excited about that game just because I like Wonder Woman, and the last thing I got from Wonder Woman sucked. Someone didn't suck. It was a letdown. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of things that could be here. I'm keeping my expectations very low because I don't think anything massive is gonna be here. Like I don't think we're gonna, Insomniac is gonna walk out on stage and show us Spider-Man 2. That's not happening. I don't even think it's gonna happen at Disney and Marvel's showcase, which I will talk about. I got in an argument with some Reddit people that they thought Spider-Man 2 was gonna be there. I was like, dude, no fucking way Spider-Man 2 is there, man. Like,
Oh, it's Atomic Heart. That's the game.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's been a
I heard about
long
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
time that's been announced, but yeah, I
That's
think it's
a
officially gonna have a big showcase
that's
thing.
a
A big.
Xbox exclusive, right?
I don't know if it
I
is,
thought it
but
was an Xbox
it
PC.
looks interesting.
Huh. Let's see.
Maybe. I don't
Again,
know. I'll have
there's
to
a
look it
lot
up.
that could be here, but like again, I guess I just repeat myself. I don't think anything big, and I just can't come up with anything shocking that would be there. Other than like you said, like Warner Brothers is one of the studios that I know likes to be at these because they don't put on their own thing really outside of what they do with like the DC fandom and all that. It's the only time we hear anything major from Warner Brothers is
Oh,
doing that.
yeah,
What?
you're right. It is only coming to PC and Xbox.
Yeah, I
I
thought it
didn't know
was.
that. Huh.
It looks
Well,
cool.
it
I'm
looks
excited.
cool. It looks interesting. I've
Oh,
been really curious about it. So,
maybe we'll get some new info on a couple of those first person shooters we saw during Xbox's show, like High on Life. I'm excited about that one. There's that
you're forgetting a
Scorn
big
game.
one. Callisto Protocol, or even Dead Space. remake.
Oh yeah, EA might be here with Dead Space
Yeah.
remake. I don't think Capcom will be here. They either like to do their own thing, or they said they're pretty closely tied with PlayStation, and then they like to show their stuff there. It's a big audience, so um, but yeah, Callisto Protocol maybe. I don't know if I want
Because
to see
it's
anything
pretty
more from that game
soon.
though. Oh yeah,
So
December. I don't know if I want to see anything more about that game though. I'm pretty content. I've already bought the collection editions. Like I'm there day one, or when I guess whenever it gets delivered, because I bought it from GameStop and they don't do release day delivery because fuck me, right? It's too
I will
difficult.
say Dead Space needs a showcase though, because I feel like that's really just been pushed under the rug. Like we haven't really seen actual gameplay yet, other than those little, dev things where they show little bits. Like it would be nice to see an actual trailer or something for it.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Hopefully that will be there at least.
I
Like I
think
know Callisto's been shown a lot,
it
so
it needs to be somewhere. It might actually be smarter them to wait for Game Awards because that will be shortly after Callisto Protocol comes out, which is like a spiritual successor, a spiritual reimagining of Dead Space. So I would, if I was EA, I would use that Callisto Protocol hype, use that excitement around that game right after it came out, and then show what you're doing with the Dead Space remake. Then be like, all right, y'all like this? Here's this. So that way the hype is kind of there and like the anticipation is kind of there coming off of Callisto Protocol. Use another game for essentially free marketing for your own game. That's what I would do, but I don't own a studio, so I don't. I'm not a publisher, but in my head, that I would take advantage of that kind of free news cycle with something close. And they have a lot of competition with Dead Space. Like we said, Callisto Protocol is a month before Dead Space, and then 2 months after that is Resident Evil. Like they're coming out smack dab in the middle of one huge survival horror game and another very anticipated survival horror game. So they got a lot to show. They got a lot to prove. I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'm excited. I can't wait to play it. But that is a game I do want to see more of. Anything else?
no. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to see a few of those things we talked about. That'd be cool. Maybe just a surprise.
Oh, I'm
I'd like
sure.
to see just one big kind of like not huge surprise. I'm not expecting anything gigantic, but just like a oh wow, I didn't expect that to be here kind of thing. So
I'm
that'd be cool.
expecting less surprises and more updates on things that we already know exist because, like I said, there's so many different things. We're going to talk a little bit here around the point about all the games that have been. I mean, the delayed games count for 2022 has had a ridiculous number. So, um, we know all those games are coming out in 2023. So there's a lot that we might want to see updates on, but I'll just tell our audience out there, all five of them, to temper their expectations maybe. Don't get super excited about any crazy reveals happen. If they happen, great. Logan and I will be here with you talking about them and be excited about them or be sad about them, whatever. Who knows? But don't expect those, and you'll be a little bit more pleasantly surprised if there is something for you. Nothing else, my man, right?
Nope, nothing else.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was our points of the show. If you have anything to say about anything like that, if you have your predictions for Gamescom opening night live, what's going to be there, anything cool you want to see, let us know in the comments on this video or on our Patreon page. Send us a message. Let us know. We're going to move in now to Around the Point. Number one on Around the Point is the Xbox Series X remains and still is Xbox's fastest selling console to date. Talking with this guy's name that I can't. Nadili? I don't know. He said Microsoft has said that it sold more consoles life to date than any previous generation of Xbox in the 2 years that has been on the market. Now, for those of us out there that knows, Xbox hasn't announced sales figures since 2014, since the Xbox One generations. But we do know that the Xbox Series S and X are selling fairly well. Congratulations to them. I'm glad. Being someone who now works at a place that sells these things, I can tell you that there are quite a few people that are buying them. They come in They ask if we have any PlayStations first. I say no, and then they buy an Xbox. So that hurts me to do that, but that's my job. That's what I got to do. So good on Xbox for finding a way to make the consoles that people want. But this is just, again, all around good news. I may diss on Xbox a lot, but I've always maintained the point that I want them to be successful, because success from both of these companies drives the industry forward in meaningful capacities. We don't get some of the advancement and some of the great games and everything if, one company just sucks and the other one's dominating. Like, we don't get the PS4 generation of games if the PS3 generation hadn't been so lacking and Sony hadn't got their ass kicked so bad. We don't get the Horizons, we don't get the Ghosts, we don't get all these other things if they didn't have to do that. So, good on Xbox. Congratulations to them. Keep selling those consoles. I want both these consoles to get past 80 million minimum. I understand, sales have been rough for both of these things because of COVID and the restrictions and all that. We keep hearing news that, they're going to fix that. Things are getting better. We've heard that for a year now. Who the hell knows when that's going to happen? But congratulations to them. Logan, what are you going to say?
Yeah, well, that's exciting. I hope this generation, I mean, I feel like this generation clearly has started out better than the Xbox One ever did. I know
Well, it's not
Xbox One
hard to
was a
go.
terrible,
It's not hard. So
yeah, yeah. But this is great. And again, also starting out better than even the 360 with no red rings of death. It's great. I'm really happy to see that they're doing really good. I hope they only keep doing better, and I also hope this. Well, I don't know. Just like I just want to. I can't wait for next year in general, because next year will be the big year. I feel like for Xbox games to start coming out. So yeah, this is exciting news, and I hope they just keep going up. I hope they become a very high selling console, and they only get better and better. But we'll see.
yeah, now we have seen. I don't know how much you pay attention to like month in, month out sales stuff. I like looking at that stuff, and both companies, technically all three companies, have seen a year-to-year drop in terms of well, pretty much across the board in terms of engagement, in terms of game sales, in terms of console sales. Everybody is feeling it. I mean, Nintendo just announced that they actually dropped their 2022 sales predictions. So for the final financial quarter of 2022, they dropped their predictions. It's just people are going back out into the world. COVID is essentially over. It's not. It's still there. There's still people getting sick. Shit, I'm sick right now. I'm gonna take a COVID test tomorrow just to make sure. But like, it's essentially over because people are just kind of like don't care about it anymore. They're just like, whatever, fuck it. If I die, I die, right? So people are going back out into the world, back out into their hobbies. So they're not sitting at home and they're not just playing games at all time, which is what it has been for the past 2 years. So I think we're just seeing not really a drop. I think we're seeing a return to normal for the games industry. And we'll see how each company deals with that. We'll see how Xbox deals with that. We'll see how PlayStation and Nintendo deals with that. So, yeah. I guess that's all I have to say about that. I like looking at sales stuff. I'm weird like that, I guess. I'm not really weird, I guess, but I like that kind of stuff. What do you gotta say? Anything?
Um, no, I mean, yeah, I know. Obviously, 2020 was like a bigger deal at that time because everyone was at home, so game sales were probably at its highest. Um, I don't keep up with that stuff. No, you're right. Every so often, and I'm not like going on my way to look for them. It's more like it'll be on like Facebook or something. I'm like, oh, cool, sweet. As long as it's never the only thing that would make me sad is if any of these do as bad as Wii U, but I'm pretty sure both these consoles and obviously the Switch have already probably sold more than the Wii U has ever
Well,
sold.
the
So
Wii U sold
as long as it
13
never gets
million,
to that
so
point,
yeah, they are both.
yeah.
Most estimates call well, Sony has announced it, but most estimates say PS5 is around 21, 22, Xbox in the 15 to 17 range, and the Switch is closing in on PS4. It's the last thing I think the last we got reported it was at 111. So it puts it about 6 million units away from PS4. So pretty soon the Switch will be the second best selling home console of all time, congratulations to them. But even the Switch, even the mighty Switch, is slowing down. We've seen sales get slow and slower, even though they still sold 22 million units this year so far, which is crazy to think about. A console, man. Good on them, I guess. One thing I did want to point out is I heard some people talking, and it's just a quick question. I just want you to answer real quick. Are you still in love with your Switch? Like, do you still love it and like the console? Because I can say I don't really love it anymore. I rarely play it. It's only there for the exclusive machine for me. It's, I bought the new map pack for Mario Kart, and I was playing that, and obviously I'll play Pokemon when it comes out in November. But I can say for
I
myself,
still
I'm not.
like it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying that like I still really like it. And obviously, but like when it first came out, I would have been tempted more to probably get more third party games on it. Like I was tempted to get Cult of the Lamb on there until I heard that it was only going to run at 30 FPS, and then I was like, all right, never mind. Um, I yeah, I rarely get any third party games. It's mostly first party games, but I still really love my Switch because I think it does something that no not Xbox or PlayStation probably will ever do. And I just really love it as like I don't play a lot of single player games on it. It's mostly like my multiplayer games I play on there. Like I play a lot of multiplayer games. Like when I'm playing with friends or friends come over, it is like a great system to just be like, hey, you want to play Mario Kart? Do you want to play Nintendo Sports? Do you want to play Mario Party? Like, and obviously there are some single player games I play, like Fire Emblem Three Houses. I love Smash. I almost forgot about Smash, but um, I still love it, and I think it's honestly my favorite Nintendo system I've ever had. I've never ever, not even the Wii, have I liked that as much as I've liked the Switch. So yeah, I do really love this system, and I only hope that they do actually come out with an update with this system at some point. Which I mean, I feel like that's pretty much a given, but who knows when it's coming out? I mean, other than I still believe it might be coming out next year, but who knows? We'll see. But I would like to see an update. I feel like a big, nice update in power, the system can go back up there with being like one of my top few systems I would be looking at. But now if I get games, it's like, yeah, I just don't really look at Switch unless it's mostly for its exclusives, which is just how it is because the
Yeah.
exclusive games are made specifically for the Switch, and the Switch is becoming so old now. Third party games just barely can even run on it. It's pretty surprising,
Yeah, and I
So
think
it's like,
that's where I stand. It's just so woefully underpowered. I just feel like I'm missing out when I play games on the Switch. Outside, obviously, of like the Mario's or the Zeldas. Or you can't play those anywhere else. So, but you brought up a couple games like the exclusives and the single player games they've had, and those are both from 2018, 2019. Like we haven't gotten anything huge in terms of single player games from them that really drive the console forward since Animal Planet, and that was in 2020, 2021. I think it was 2020. Like it's been quite a few years where we haven't really
oh, you
gotten.
mean Animal Crossing?
I said Animal Crossing, didn't I?
You said Animal Planet.
Did I? Oh
Yeah,
shit.
that's
Well, I
why I was
meant Animal.
confused. I was like,
Sorry,
Animal Planet.
I meant Animal Crossing, but like we
Oh,
haven't
you think
gotten
of Little Big
anything.
Planet?
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything that I would say would like must haves for the console in a long time. Like we've gotten stuff. We just got Live Alive. Um, I'm sure there's other things, but that's how untapped I am from um that system right now. I don't play it. So my answer is no, I'm not in love with it anymore. Oh shit. All right. Anything else you gotta say about
Nope,
anything we talked about here?
nope.
I lost my train of thought. Okay, moving on. The second story on Around the Point this week, THQ Nordic came out and had their showcase, and I wasn't expecting a lot from this, which is maybe why I came out this showcase pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised. Jesus. I'm just gonna go through some of these announcements. I know one thing in here that you probably paid a little bit of attention to. There's a couple things in here that I liked, so I'm just gonna go down the list. Stop me if you want to talk about anything. I'll stop at the game that I know you want to talk about. So, starting off, a new Alone in the Dark game was announced. A brand new Alone in the Dark survival horror game is on the way, developed by Pieces Interactive and written by Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and Soma Rider. Alone in the Dark is a love letter to the original Alone in the Dark game, telling a brand new story in this Southern Gothic horror. Did you ever play the original? For those of you that don't know, the
No,
original
but
Alone in the Dark, like the one that came out in like 1995, 96, is like the precursor to Resident Evil.
huh? I didn't. Yeah, I've never played any of these.
Then we had that really
I
shitty reboot in like '05 that was fucking terrible, but
Yeah, wasn't the cover like all like white and black with like a weird yellow
yeah, it was just
glint
dude.
on
It
it?
was like
Yeah.
trying to be like Max horror, Max Payne type. It was bad. I played it. I did not like it. All right, next game, Tempest Rising, a real-time strategy game utilizing what they call next-gen graphics and RPG elements. Take up arms in the war between the GDF and Tempest Royal Dynasties, whatever that means. Battle and campaign set on highly detailed plans, and control your troops while making decisions that will affect the outcome of the war. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This type of game is the answer to your question earlier. I do not like real-time strategy games.
That's fair.
I like real-time battle-based games like Fire Emblem, like a game we're going to be talking about here in a bit that I'm hugely excited for that finally got announced, and Final Fantasy Tactics. I like those Tactics games. I don't like the real-time strategy games like CNC, what's the Command and Conquer, or like that new Starship Troopers game that came out recently. So there. That's my answer to your question earlier. What do you think about those? Do you like those games?
What, these kind of games?
No, first person
It really
shooters.
depends. Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah. No,
God
just
damn
saying no.
it.
I mean, these games can be interesting, but it's really just a matter of like what do you bring to the table that's like new and exciting? Do I like the environment? Do I like how it's just done in general? Um, I guess I can't really say Midnight Suns is like that because that's not real time strategy, right? That's like the other game, so never mind. But like, if you surprise me with something like Midnight Suns or something like that, then yeah, I could get into it, But like, it really just depends. Like some games could be really cool with it, but maybe I don't really like it because I can't really think of many real or actually I can't even think of one real time strategy game I played that I've been like, wow, I really love this game.
I used
At
to play
least I
like
can't think off the top of my head.
I used to play like Total War back in the day. But yeah, I haven't played them in years, so I don't really like them
Like I
anymore.
liked Halo Wars, I guess. I liked
Yeah,
Halo
yeah,
Wars 1.
that's an
That wasn't
RTS, yeah.
bad.
Also, sometimes
Yeah, so like that one.
they're so fucking convoluted and there's so many mechanics. It's just like, oh god, I can't wrap my head around this. You know?
Yeah,
Uh,
Halo Wars 1 wasn't too bad. I feel like it wasn't as convoluted as like Halo Wars 2. I tried Halo Wars 2 and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to do anything. And playing online against people is just it's bad. Like you literally have to know what you're doing if you're playing online. Like I mean, you really have to know what you're doing if you're playing online. But I mean, yeah, Halo Wars is probably the only one I can really think of off the top of my head that I actually really enjoyed. I remember all the people at GameStop being like, "You do know this is a real time strategy game?" Like, yeah, this is
Dude,
cool. I
I
like
hate
seeing big armies of like Halo characters fighting. So like, this is cool. Like, of course I want to get this.
I fucking hate people at GameStop when they do this. Like, oh, you do know this. I'm like, bro, I've been playing games for 25 years. I fucking run a podcast. I know more about the games industry than you do. Uh,
Yeah.
do you want a warranty for this game? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking throw the game like a frisbee across my room. I don't need a $3.50 warranty for my game disc. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I hate GameStop. A Recreation, a new arcade racer from ex-developers of games like Burnout and Need for Speed, allows you to create the track of your wildest dreams, all in a massive sandbox. Build your track with friends online and then prepare to race, crash, and drift through your massive creation. I gotta say, this game looked pretty cool as a racing fan. I mean, I might check this out. It depends on when it comes out. If I'm doing anything, then probably not. But if I'm free, then I might give this a side-eyed look.
I actually was pretty interested in this game. So again, I by the way, I did watch this entire showcase. Surprise, surprise. Um, this game actually looked kind of cool. Like it looks unique. It looks wacky. It kind of reminds me of the whole what was that one game, Riders
Wreckfest.
Republic game when they
Oh,
showed off
I thought you meant
when they
Wreckfest.
showed off Oh, well, yeah, Wreckfest, which is cool that they are. I hope it's as destructible as Wreckfest is, because if it is, this is gonna be really cool in my opinion. Because I like the car destruction in that game, and I think it'd be cool to have like that in this kind of crazy, wacky racing game. So yeah, I'm actually kind of a little interested in this game. Like I actually have this on my radar, and I'll probably keep updated on it and everything. It looks good. It looks fun. So
Space for Sale allows you to be a property developer turning planets into livable dream homes for would-be buyers. Start your space house flipping adventure by turning barren planets into crazy neighborhoods. I gotta say, I actually this caught my eye. I liked what I saw here. I thought it was inventive in a way, a different spin on the creation genre. The fact that you get to design and create these things and then sell them, like the write up says, like a house flipper in space. I thought this was a cool idea. If it comes out at the right price, I'll probably buy this on PC because that's where I like to play these types of games. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised about this. I thought the look of it was a little derivative to modern games. The cartoony style. That was a little derivative, but I thought this looked interesting and cool, and it caught my eye.
I won't lie, I blinked out watching this game, so honestly, for some reason, I know I've seen the beginning part of it, but I didn't see any of the rest of it. So I don't know what to think about this game. It looks I was actually watching it while you were talking about it. Um, it looks okay. Um, really depends on how deep it is, because from what I'm just seeing right now, everything looks kind of bland. All the buildings look bland, all that, like it's about space for sale. It's about selling, and making things look interesting. So I don't know. They didn't showcase a lot to make it be like, okay, this is one of those kind of games because it could be cool. It does sound very unique and interesting, but the trailer didn't really sell me as much as it probably could have.
Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobe got a new gameplay trailer, and this is where I'll let you take it away, mister.
Very excited for this game, actually. I'm especially very excited that. What?
That's anything.
Oh, I thought you said something, hey, mister. I was confused.
I said take it away,
Um,
mister. That was before you even started
oh,
talking.
I was talking. That's why I was confused why you said that.
No, I said that
All right.
before you started. Anyway, fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Okay, we're getting confused here. Okay, but basically, I'm not like super stoked for this game, but I am excited. I like Destroy All Humans. I think it's a really cool franchise. I do kind of hope they keep going down this route. Maybe even remake some of the offshoot games, like the one on the Wii that never came to any of the air consoles, and some other ones. But this is really cool. I think it looks really good. I like the style they went for. It's pretty much in the same style as the first remake or remaster, sorry, of Destroy All Humans 1. So this looks really cool. I really, really like that they are adding split screen co-op to this game. That was not originally in the game, and that's really exciting because this game I think would be super cool to play in co-op. And it's not just like co-op you could free roam the world and do side stuff. No, you can literally play the entire campaign in co-op in this new one, and that's pretty exciting actually. And it makes me kind of want to get it, so then maybe me and Amy could play it together or something like that. That'd be really fun. And I think I like the gameplay style and everything, and it looks really fun. The graphics look great. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. It's just chaotic alien killing humans, and the campaign will probably be as kind of like funny and cringy as it usually is. I've never actually played all of Destroy All Humans 2. I never actually owned it when I was younger, but I did play and beat the first game twice now. I beat it the classic one, and I've beaten the remaster one. So yeah, I would like to. I'm kind of excited for this one.
I can say with complete and utter unfortunateness, um, I do not care about this game. I played the original Destroy All Humans 1 and 2 when they first came out. I was younger. I loved the humor. I loved everything. I played the remake when it came out 3, 4 years ago, whenever, and I don't know if I've just become like old and jaded or whatever, but I didn't vibe with the humor of it anymore, and so I'm glad you're super excited for this. I can't wait to hear your opinions about it, but I don't care about this game, unfortunately, which sucks because I remember liking them, but that remake just I couldn't. Speaking
That's fair.
of speaking of remakes, THQ continues its streak with Gothic, a reimagining of the original 2000s action RPG set in a medieval fantasy world. Did you ever play the OG Gothic? It's essentially Diablo, but I honestly think it kind of out Diablo's Diablo in a way. But we'll see. I'm excited about this. It looks like they've done a lot to the game. It's a full-on remake, rebuild of the game, which is good because what it should be. But yeah, I'm excited. I may check it out. I like action RPGs. I say I like action RPGs, but I don't play enough of them because they always seem to come out at the worst times. I'm always busy doing other stuff. But I'm excited. I think it looks cool, and I like the universe of
Uh,
Gothic.
I've never played it. I've never even heard of it before, but it seems to be pretty big. So I'll probably keep my eye out on it, especially now that you said it's kind of like Diablo. Um, I'll keep my eye on it, see whenever the actual gameplay gets showcased. Um, I'll be excited to see what it's all about. Because yeah, I've never played it, but I remember the video I was watching. Everybody was excited for it, so yeah, I'll have to keep my eye on it and see if it catches my eye.
Jagged Alliance 3, a sequel to the classic, apparently, Jagged Alliance series. Play as a band of mercenaries in this top down strategy game set in the African war zone. I know nothing about this, so if you know anything about it, please enlighten me. If not, let's move the fuck on.
It's basically a weird, cringy, turn-based game about having really cringy, like cheesy, not cringy, but cheesy action hero like mercenaries and everything. Um, I looked up some stuff about this game because like a lot of the jokes is about the voice acting in the game and how like there was a dude that's like Arnold Schwarzenegger supposedly, and it's just like a weird kind of just funny top down strategy game. That's basically all I could think of. It didn't really catch my. It doesn't look that good. Um, it looks very like dated in my opinion, but who knows?
Speaking of classics that I didn't know were classics, Outcast 2 saw a new story and gameplay trailer. The sequel to the cult classic adventure game Outcast 2 promises a vast and strange alien planet players can explore and defend in this unexpected sequel. Yep, nothing on this one either.
Nope, and I did not look good either to me.
Knights of Honor 2 command your armies across Europe in this new uh game. Cool. I don't care about some of these, man. You got anything on this one?
No, I mean it looks like a lot of other games I've seen before. Again, I know there's supposedly a big following with this game. Like I think the first one was it's like again, weirdly enough, a game that came out a long time ago, the first one, and they're just coming out. It seems like this showcase has a lot of that.
Well, that's
Um,
that new. Ever since THQ got sold, liquidated, and then rebuilt and rebought and rebuilt, they've been doing a lot. Like they put out the Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, the remaster of the original one, and now there's news that they're actually making a sequel to that game, or at least DLC content to that game. So it seems like THQ is kind of trying to whittle the way back into like that double A space that I've frankly been missing. I miss double A games. I miss those smaller games that you know can like we're saying here become cult classics. Even though I may not know about all of them, but I'm glad that there's a developer out there that is still existing in this space and you know I'm just glad that not everything we're getting is, the next AAA game that takes 5 years to make.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But yeah, again, this game has a pretty big following. Very classic game that they're making a sequel to. A lot of people really like the combat and the storyline that they do in it. Yeah, I mean, it looks like one of those games. So, not very excited for it because again, it's not my kind of game. But I know a lot of people are really excited for it because it's a sequel to a long ago game. So
SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake showed off a new gameplay trailer for the new 3D platformer set in the SpongeBob universe. Did you ever play? Well, did you ever play the original Battle for Bikini Bottom, and or did you play the remake?
I never played the remake. Played the original Battle of Bikini Bottom on, I believe, the Xbox, or maybe it was a PS2, or maybe it was a GameCube. I can't remember which one. It was one of those three. Um, but I liked it. It was very challenging as a kid. This game, I think the trailer was just weird. I don't know what to think about it. Like, it looks interesting. It kind of reminds me of Mario Odyssey with the whole weird floaty Patrick thing. I don't know if he's like a mechanic or like you use him. They didn't showcase what he does other than float next to you and make, Patrick Star jokes. But also it just jumped around a lot and it was like kind of like awkward cuts to different areas. It wasn't like in any way connected, but I guess it is the cosmic shake. So I don't know. This looks interesting. I'll probably keep my eye on it, but is it going to be a day one purchase? Absolutely not. I've been kind of done with SpongeBob for a long time because, well, new SpongeBob is just not as good. But maybe that's just my older me coming out now because the classics, as I would say. So
Me being older than you, I don't even like SpongeBob, so.
that's fair.
The Valiant, a grand strategy game set during the Crusades, had a brand new gameplay trailer, and then finally Way of the Hunt, a highly detailed animal hunting sim. Katie, do you have anything on these two?
No, but isn't DJ a big fan of hunting games? Because that would be a solid.
Don't know. I haven't talked to him about it, so I'll
Yeah,
bring it up
because
to him.
I could have sworn he said something about like he wanted a very good uh hunting simulator game, and I was just thinking of that when this trailer popped up. It looks like a really cool simulator hunting game. I'm not a big hunter, but for the people that are, looks like a cool game. So that's it.
All right. Well, the third story on Around the Point, that is the end of the THQ Nordic showcase. Before we move on, what are your very very quick thoughts on this?
Surprising. Very surprising, actually.
Yeah,
I
that was
had
pretty good.
no idea what I was getting myself started to watch it. I didn't really have any expectations. Honestly, it'd probably be pretty low expectations because I didn't really think anything exciting was going to show up. But man, a couple games caught my eye, especially some surprise ones like the Wreck Creation. That one was kind of a surprise for me. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested, and I thought it was a pretty good showcase.
All right. The next story, Splatoon 3 also had a direct. Um I honestly don't know if you want to talk about this. I think you're excited about this game. I don't know if you're actually excited or you just put it on to your fantasy list. I don't care or really have anything knowledgeable or important to say about this game at all. So if you want to say anything, go ahead, knock yourself out. If not, I would honestly be okay. We just move on.
No, not really. I just put it on my list because I know it's a very popular arcade arena shooter for the Switch, and it's a big deal for the people that do like it ever since it came out on the Wii U, if I believe. Um, so I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like Splatoon 2.5. So I'm excited for everyone else. that's gonna like this game. I so much do not really care. I just don't really care for the look of the characters, and the gameplay just doesn't look that exciting for me. So
I would. I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna get me canceled if anybody cared about what I had to say. I would go on the limb and say Splatoon 3 is honestly Splatoon 1.75. Because I would say Splatoon 2 is Splatoon 1.5, and this is 1.75. We haven't actually gotten the sequel yet. But that's me being hypercritical of something that I don't care about. Alright.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Sorry. I don't know.
you're good.
I was just being dumb. A fish. Wait, for a 4-story. Jesus, we gotta pick it up a little bit. A 4-story MultiVersus season 1 finally gets its official release date. Like we said last week, this got delayed, and DJ and I both said there's no reason to worry. This is not one of them delays that you have to put any sort of stock into. And just like that, we get the official release date of season 1, which is today on recording, or yesterday if you're listening to this when it comes out on Tuesday. They said we are excited to announce season 1 will begin on August 15th with a brand new battle pass for you to earn in-game rewards. We also confirmed Morty will join the character roster on August 23rd as part of season 1, and we look forward to sharing more in the coming weeks. So, like I said, like DJ and I said last week, the delay was nothing. It's probably just they needed to fix some things and all that. Some feedback they got from the beta, and they wanted to take an extra week. I don't know, although I don't know what they could have done in a week, but sure, whatever.
Yeah, this is exciting news. I mean, I agree. Yeah, I don't know what they could have done in a week. I don't know. Maybe there was like a really bad glitch that, like, I don't know, something weird. Maybe the battle pass was like completely free when they were about to release it, and they're like, "Oh shucks,
Oh,
you gotta make people pay for it." I don't know.
I would
I
die.
don't know.
I would die if they were like getting ready to hit the big green button of release, and they were like, "Wait, hold on.
Put a
The
price tag on that bad boy.
the battle pass is completely free, and we can't have that." And then the director was just like, "Oh shucks, we missed it." That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's not how game
It's a knee
development works.
slapper.
It's a knee slapper right there.
But this
Oh.
is still exciting news. I mean, especially on the time of recording. Can't wait to play as Rick. I'm more excited for Rick than I am for Morty, but I am still excited to play as Morty. I really hope one of his abilities is he grows a big, huge arm, like in season 3 of Rick and Morty, from the Mad Max world that they go to. That would be super cool. So yeah, I'm excited for this new thing. I'm excited to try out Arcade, which was something I was very interested in. Excited for playing as Rick, of course, and yeah, cool.
The next story on Around the Point, Tactics Ogre Reborn is finally revealed, finally announced to the world. It exists, it's coming, believe it. This game, if you don't know, technically this game is a remake of a remaster of a game that came out in 1996. Let me explain. Tactics Ogre Reborn is the remake of the classic RPG Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together, which was released in 1996. This game is, however, technically sorry, I got that wrong. This game is a remake of Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together, which of itself was a port/remake of the original Tactics Ogre that released on the PSP. So there we go. Super excited about this game. If you don't know anything about this, Logan, this is essentially the game that can be credited most with the dawning of the modern era of tactics-based RPGs. So like Fire Emblem, Halo Wars. Like maybe not Halo Wars. That's more RTS. But like Fire Emblem exclusively took a lot from this. While it existed before Tactics Ogre came out, the next game that came out after this game was very similar to what this game is. So this game can be credited with the modern era of the tactics games. I'm very excited about this game. I can't wait. This has been rumored for a long time, and finally, Square Enix said, "All right, you know what? Fine, fuck it. Here it is."
Yeah, I have no clue about anything about this game. So
It's good. Let me tell you. Well, it's good for me. I
It
don't know if you
looks
like it.
pretty interesting. I was watching the trailer while you were talking. Um, yeah, looks interesting. Probably keep my eye on it, I guess. So,
Well, that's good. I don't know if you'll play it, and even if you do play it, I don't know if you'll like it. I'm probably gonna play it because I have a remembrance for the original, and then shortly after we got Final Fantasy Tactics, which is my favorite of that style, kind of like 2D tactical battle games. My favorite of that style. So I'm excited. I will probably play it at some point in time when it comes out. The next story, though, number 6 on Around the Point. Hogwarts Legacy has gotten some new info, including a new character customization and some new cutscenes that got revealed. But most importantly, the official release date. It is technically a delay based off what they said, but it's not really like anything crazy. The official release date for Hogwarts Legacy is February 10th, 2023, which is perfect because it's after Dead Space and before Resident Evil. So I might actually get a chance to to play this game. I know Peyton, I know Amy, they're very excited about this game. I'm still very excited about this game. Sorry, I was downplaying that. I'm tired, but yeah, and apparently this game's still coming to Nintendo Switch somehow. Don't know how the fuck that's possible, but we'll see when it comes out. Did you get a chance to look at the trailer? What do you think? I thought the character customization looked fantastic. Again, I'm very excited about this game, and I just hope with all my might that it doesn't suck.
I don't think I did see the trailer. But I did watch the cutscene. I have been keeping up with it. As we both called it, we knew it was going to get pushed back. I had a huge feeling it was going to get pushed back. At least it's not by a lot. At least it's not by like an entire year, as some have done. But I really hope this next one is the official date. I hope that there's no more problems, and I hope it does release in that time period. I am, even though I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, I am very excited for this game, and I really, really hope for the Harry Potter fans this game is great. I really hope they blow it out of the park. I hope this game is great. I hope every Harry Potter fan gets what they want. I hope even for the people that aren't even Harry Potter fans like myself will even enjoy it. I'm really excited to do it. Actually, I'm excited to see Hogwarts and this really great graphics and everything, and have this big free open world and everything, and being able to throw spells around and do combat and everything. It looks really really fun. So yeah, I really hope this game is great. And yeah, I'm excited for it. Customization, I did look at some of the screenshots. Looks really, really good. Um, as we said in our episode when the first trailer released, I do kind of hope they still, even when I was down in Florida and I was hanging out with a friend, we all even talked about this too. I think it would be cool for the people that don't know much about Harry Potter or don't know their house already, uh, to get some kind of a short little survey, as I would call it, or they call it something else, and you do the survey, and then it picks a house for you. But just like the movies, if you decide to not pick that house, you could change to a different house. I mean, Harry Potter himself by the way, this isn't my. I'm gonna props to Amy on this. She told me about this, so I know she was about to run in here and be like, "No." But the fact that Harry Potter was going to be chose as Slytherin, he kept saying he wanted to be in Gryffindor. Anyways, he was technically supposed to be a Slytherin. So again, a really cool idea. I really hope they add that because I think it would be great, even for myself or even for someone that doesn't really know much about Harry Potter. It'd be cool if they could get into this and figure out what house that the Sorting Hat would choose for them by just as the movies and the books do. They read your mind, so it'd be cool again if you do the survey and it picks a house off of what you've decided. So I really hope they do add that. It's a really cool, very easy idea that they can add into the beginning of the game when you're being able to decide your house. But who knows? Maybe it's already a thing. Who knows? But I just think it would be a cool idea. Other than that, not much more to say. Very excited for this game, even though I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. My wife is even more absurdly excited for this game than anyone probably ever will be other than Pain 2. So, yeah.
The seventh story on Around the Point, like we talked about earlier, Marvel and Disney games have announced the first ever showcase for them. It says the digital showcase will debut during the D23 Expo on September 9th. And some of the promised games already is Marvel's Midnight Suns. We finally get a look at Amy Hennig's new Marvel Ensemble game from Skydance Media. We'll get updates on Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga and that Disney Dreamlight Valley game. Oh, excuse me. Logan, you excited about this? I'm excited about this. Mostly about Amy Hennig's new game. I love that lady. She is, for those of you that don't know, she is the original creator and writer of the Uncharted games. She was making a Star Wars game with EA before that game got canceled and shuttered. So now she is over with Marvel and Disney. Well, I guess she's technically with Skydance, but she's partnering with Marvel to make some sort of ensemble game. And I look forward to, in a couple weeks, we get to maybe see what it is and learn more about it. What do you gotta say?
Yeah. Kind of sad Midnight Suns got pushed back. Rip that on my fantasy. But I'm excited to see what games they do. I feel like, I mean, Disney and Marvel, this is pretty interesting to see a showcase by them. So I'm excited to see some big ones, you know. I almost wonder Spider-Man 2 will make it there because, you know, it is Marvel. I know it's Sony, but it's a Marvel and Disney showcase, so who knows? Who knows? But also that game that you're talking about would be really cool. I can't remember the other game that they're talking about, but if you ever look up the leaked gameplay of that bounty hunter game, it does make me very excited for that game that she'll be making next. Hopefully, it's something like that because that game looked amazing, and it's sad to see that that game never came to fruition. Um, and that, I would like to see some of those other Star Wars games that have been talked about. And what other game is coming out? I thought there was another one. Maybe Wolverine, but I don't think Wolverine will be showcased anytime soon. We still got Spider-Man 2 ahead of it. So, I don't know. I'm still very excited for this because I mean, obviously, I like Marvel a lot, so I'll be like to see some of those, and obviously, I like Star Wars a lot, so I'd like to see some cool Star Wars stuff in there.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the this big update. Maybe they'll have some cool for Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we might get some DLC or maybe a new story chapter like from Rogue One or one of the other movies, or maybe even like I don't know, one of the other TV shows. I just hope it's not Andor. God, I hope it's not. I don't fucking care about Andor. Um, but it probably is because Disney loves that dude for some reason. But yeah, I'm excited about the how do I want to phrase this? The possibilities, because the possibilities of Star Wars, maybe, possibly, we haven't heard from EA in a long time. Maybe we see some Jedi Survivor. That'd be cool. I'm super stoked for that. That'd be nice to see. We know it's coming out next year. Um, so that'd be interesting to see go on here. And cross your fingers for maybe a Battlefront from a different developer.
I wish, but I really, it's the curse, you know. There'll always be two, but no more.
I would say we would get some more info on KOTOR, but I don't know if you won't listen to last week's episode. That game's never coming out, so um,
Oh,
great.
really? Oh, that
Oh,
sucks
oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
You should listen to DJ and I talk about it on the last week's episode. It got delayed indefinitely. Apparently, there were uh, Aspire, however you say, they showed a vertical slice of the game to both Sony and who's the other publisher? Oh, Embracer, the person who owns Aspire. And a week later, the creative director and artistic director got fired, and the game was said to be put on indefinite delay. And then yada yada yada. You can read through the weeds, but Apparently, they originally said that the game would come out late 2022, and then afterwards, the internal release date was predicted to be somewhere between 2024 and 2025. So, what really sounds like it happens if you read into it is a studio started to make a game that wasn't equipped to make the game, and it just all went wrong. So, it does suck. We'll see what happens if it can come back from the weeds, if Embracer and Sony or Aspire or whoever they tap to come in and maybe try to fix the game can fix it. Who the hell knows? You know,
Yeah, I'm kind of sad about that because I was
I'm
like,
very
that's
sad
gonna
about that.
be
Yeah,
that was probably gonna be my entry into that game because I've never played them, and I was really waiting for that game, and now we don't even know if it's ever gonna come.
yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
I would be a betting man and say that if it does come out, it's not. It's either. Well, no, I can't say that because if it comes out and it's not like they just can't do that. They can't put this game out and it be I don't know, GTA remakes or whatever. It just can't be like that. This game is one of the most important RPGs ever made. It's one of the most important Star Wars games ever made. It's one of the most historically significant video games ever made. They can't mess this up. And maybe Embracer went in, saw what the game was, and be like, "Hey, are you sure this is gonna be ready by next year?" And they were like, "Oh no, actually it's gonna be 2025." And they were like, "All right, fuck it, y'all fired." Just clean house. And I hope I said they bring another developer in, they bring another studio in, whatever. And I hope this game still gets made. But if I were a betting man, I would say that we don't see this game ever, which sucks.
That's sad. It's really
Yeah,
sad to hear, honestly.
because like if you think about it, like if you look into Aspire's history, before they were tapped to make the KOTOR remake, they essentially didn't make a game ever. They made a lot of ports, a lot of Star Wars ports like the Switch and other things. They started out making ports to like MacBooks, or not MacBooks, I guess, like Apple OS, Mac OS. They started porting games that could run on there, and they never actually made a game. So learning that, it questions me, or I question why they were either given this game or they attempted to make this game. It just seems like the worst wrong decision you could make as a developer slash um production company. So that's where I see it. It just seems like two people, sorry, a group of people that got over the head. Last week, DJ and I likened it to like say I'm decent at writing. I've written things before. I'm pretty darn confident. But it's like if, someone walked up to me and was like, "Hey, you're gonna write the sequel to The Lord of the Rings. Go ahead, do it." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm not gonna be good at that. Like that's not gonna turn out well." So that's kind of how we likened it. Like it's what it seems like is that the wrong people just got asked to make a game that was too big for them.
Maybe
Ugh.
they just need to do Blue Point.
Blue Points wants to make their own shit, dude. Sony bought them, and now they want to make their own shit. Even though I would love them to make another remake of a classic game, um, I am really excited for them to go off and make something brand new that they came up with, that they developed. So I'm excited to see what that happens. But yeah, maybe fuck it. Sony's like, "Hey, Blue Point, look, I know you're trying to do your own thing, and we're really excited about that. But could you put that on hold for like 2 to 3 years and remake KOTOR for us?"
I mean, literally, they would knock it out of the park.
I
So
mean, they would, but
I would trust them with that kind of project because I mean, clearly they know what they're doing when it comes to remakes, so they're or remasters specifically. It'd be great. So
yeah, but that'd be a weird situation because I'm pretty sure like Embracer owns the rights to the game because they own Aspire. Well, I guess no, Disney technically owns it. I don't know. I don't even know who owns the rights. And I think Sony was just like a publishing partner. Like they didn't own this game or anything like that. They were just like helping make it in a way. So for that to go completely internally for Sony, that I don't even think that's possible. That's some weird contractual stuff that I know nothing about. But yeah, I guess dreams happen, right? Every now and then.
exactly.
All right, moving on now to the controversial story of the episode. The ninth, yeah, ninth story on around the point. Speaking of PlayStation and Sony, they believe that Call of Duty is too popular for one person to own. Logan, I know you had a lot to say about this. I will let you start and I will just respond. By the way, let's try to not get mad at each other.
No, I know. I really don't want to do that.
No, I'm
I'm
not.
just gonna
I'm not gonna get
state the
mad.
fact of this thing and not go on a whole thing. Basically, what happened was in Brazil. I guess they have to go through every country to go through this deal. I do not know the details. Do not know the
Yeah,
legal
it's like
things of
it's
it.
like the FTC has to approve this deal, and then they go off and they ask all these companies what they think of this deal. Do you think it would, inhibit any other company from pretty much? Is it a monopoly happening? Is That's not actually what they're asking, but it's the core of what the FTC and these other controlling parties in these other countries are trying to figure out and ask.
Okay, but so basically, what he just said in Brazil, PlayStation, Sony, etc., made a comment that it's kind of blown up all over media and everything right now. Where basically, yeah, they said that basically Call of Duty is too popular and it's kind of like nothing can compete with it. It's too strong of a game, and basically kind of painted themselves as looking as victims in the situation with the whole Activision and Microsoft deal. Um, I'm not going to go on the thing and say that they're officially trying to stop the deal, but it is a pretty bad comment that can look out to be looking that way. So I'm going to just say that it was just a bad comment. I know they had to make a comment, but that comment kind of made it seem like they were uh, victims in the situation. Anyways, Microsoft has already stated multiple times that this is going to be staying on PlayStation systems. I know that there is a hidden fear that someday Xbox might just take it off PlayStation and just have it on Xbox and PC. I don't believe that. I think they make a ton of money off of having it as a multi platinum, or God, I can't talk, multi-platform game. So I mean, just like Minecraft and etc., they keep bringing those games to PlayStation. I know I'm comparing different, huge, completely different beast from another, but I'm just trying to state that I think if they want to keep making a lot of money, they're going to stick with PlayStation. But I also think PlayStation lightly fears of this because Call of Duty is well, it's sad to say, but it is truly the most sold game every year for these consoles. There are a lot more casual gamers out there, just like there's those Madden gamers and etc. There's a lot of people that purchase those things. A lot of people may disagree on that. They may not like Call of Duty. They may not like Madden. They may not like all that. It's just the truth of the matter that Call of Duty is a beast of its own. No matter how crappy the game is, it still sells insanely well. So it's understandable that Sony would be a little feared of this, but I don't know why they're feared of Microsoft, because Microsoft is usually the one that's nice about these things. They're usually not the ones to do the whole exclusivity thing and take away games. Yes, some of them are exclusive, like when they did the Bethesda thing. Yeah, probably all those are going to be exclusive, but uh, usually when it comes to big things like this, usually Microsoft's pretty chill about it. Plus, they're making a lot more money by doing it, so why not? It makes business sense to keep it on every system. Um, and so basically, Microsoft, and this is not a part of the story, but basically, Microsoft came back at them. Actually, came to light about how Sony has been doing it not only for years, but they also have been doing it recently with their new service, the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. They have been paying developers such as Resident Evil 8 Village. If you look up, there's actual legal documents that have been pulled up about it. They have written thing where they pay them extra money to not release their game on other services, specifically Xbox Game Pass and third-party game services. But again, I feel like that was kind of known. I feel like probably Xbox does it too. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that none of them do it, but they had to kind of bring up a point that Sony does it too. And Sony shouldn't be, saying that Xbox is doing one thing when Sony's been doing it for years. So it is what it is. But I just felt like it was a very important thing to talk about because it's a big deal going on right now. I'm not choosing sides, but I do think Sony probably shouldn't have said that. It was bound to get out, it's bound to be all over the media. I don't know if they specifically did it to get back at Xbox, but I think Microsoft did take it pretty personally when they heard that because they were like, okay, you're trying to stop this deal or slow us down even more. That's kind of frustrating, especially when you've been doing the same shit for years. So, yeah, this isn't a console war thing. I just wanted to bring up the statement that basically this is what's happened. The truth, it's not a Sony fanboy or anything saying this. This is strictly Sony itself making this comment. So, I just wanted to talk about that.
No, I mean, you're right. Taking the fanboyness of myself out of it, it is a very important thing, and I do have to say that I am 100% convinced that there's nothing Sony can say to stop this deal from going through. If the deal goes through, it goes through.
No, no,
If it doesn't go through, then it's not for what Sony said. There's something else going on behind the
no.
scenes. But you are right, and I do think it's blown a little bit out of proportion with the whole Sony pays people to developers to not put their game on Game Pass. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the idea of exclusives. Like each company, like you said, pays certain developers to not have their game on other consoles. Like, so I think that was a little bit of blustering and all that on the side of the media, like trying to make headlines and doing other things. I think that's a non-starter of a story, and I honestly think what happened here is that, you know, the FTC, whatever they call it in Brazil, I don't think it's called the FTC. That's what we call it. You know, probably asked like, "Hey, what is your opinion on this?" And Sony simply said that, you know, like you said, they do kind of fear that eventually maybe this Call of Duty will become exclusive, and if when maybe it never happens, hopefully it never happens, obviously, but if it does happen, that would be a major decision for people who buy the consoles and would hamper Sony's ability to get people that just play Call of Duty, that just play that game. We know plenty of gamers who literally only play Call of Duty and maybe one other game, and they buy their consoles based off that game. So I think they were asked, and Sony was like, look, this is what can happen. Nobody can make a game like Call of Duty. Nobody can make a game that'll sell like Call of Duty. There may be better first-person shooters out there in the world. I don't know. I don't play a lot of them. But in terms of sales, in terms of engagement with the community, in terms of the amount of money that are behind these games that come out, there's no other studio in the entire world that can even touch Call of Duty on a year-to-year annual basis. And I honestly believe that Sony was just saying, like, hey, this is a fear that we have that if this happens, this can cannibalize our ability to sell our console and our ability to reach a certain aspect of the video game industry in terms of fans and in terms of engagement. And it just kind of got misconstrued a little bit. It does make, you are right, I will bow down and say you are right. It does make Sony look bad and look like they're kind of weak in a way. But I mean, honestly, if I was them, I would be worried about this too. As a fan, I'm worried that, in 5-6 years, Microsoft will say, hey, we've made our money back, even though I think it'll take a lot longer than that to make their money back. Now we don't need Sony's. We don't need the revenue from Sony's money, even though that makes zero sense businessly speaking. Again, I'm not a businessman. I work at Target, for fuck's sake. But that would be a fear of mine. So I think while this does make Sony look weak, it may have been a dumb thing to say. I think they just answered the question that was presented to them, and then it got out to the world through translations and everything. And, IGN, Push Square, Video Games Chronicle, all these media outlets took it and kind of ran with it. Like you were saying, like each of these publishers pays a certain amount of money to keep games off of the other people's platforms. And like I'm sure Xbox has paid money to say, hey, this game can't go on the PlayStation for a year, or this game can't be, especially now with subscription service, and we moved into a subscription service battle between the two companies in a way. I'm sure this exists tenfold. It just so happens that this is the one we found out about because this is the biggest purchase in the history of video game companies. So there's a lot of eyes on it. So um,
Plus, honestly, I really even more think Xbox main thing with this is that they could put now Call of Duty on Game Pass, which would up the value on that, but then still obviously keep it on all consoles. I just think that's clearly the smartest choice, and I think they're business people, and I think they know that. I mean, they're spending $70 billion on a publisher, so clearly, I think they know what they're doing. I don't think Call of Duty's ever going to go away from PlayStation. I highly doubt it will ever happen, like ever. I mean, it would be mind blowing if they did because it would be losing a lot of profit because there's already a lot of people in PlayStation and there's a lot of people on Xbox and there's a lot of people in PC. So this game's all about its third party thing. So I don't think it will ever go away. And clearly, I think their biggest, even more business deal is that the big win is the fact that it's coming to Game Pass. So you'll never basically have to buy another Call of Duty because you just get Game Pass and you get it every year. So yeah, I again, I
see, I don't.
important story to talk about.
I would temper
Again,
expect.
it could
Sorry.
have been blown out of proportion, but it is a fair statement to say that I think we know you even said it yourself. It's just PlayStation. It's understandable that it's a little scary because now Xbox has the plug. They could just take it out at any moment, at least after these next three games. But are they? No, I really 100% doubt it's ever going to happen. Microsoft knows that they need to make a lot of money. It's a money making machine, Call of Duty. So why would they take it away from another thing just to lose a third of their probably profit? So yeah, I mean, no worries here, but it is a very important story and it's a controversial one. It could be looked at in different ways. But yeah,
I mean, I do think you're right. I don't think Call of Duty will ever leave PlayStation, but like again, like I was saying, like I honestly think Sony just answered the question like, hey, this is what we fear could happen, and it's to the individual, the FTC or whoever to decide if this is a possibility or not, and decide if that possibility happens, if that does monopolize or cannibalize the industry in any way that could be detrimental to the companies that exist in that. That's the FTC's job. So I think we're both kind of right. We're both kind of like sitting around and like, I think it got blown out of proportion a little bit just because it's Sony versus Xbox. People love digging into that. It's a heated topic. Microsoft owning Activision is a huge deal. And if someone would have asked me the same question, I'd be like, yeah, if Microsoft does make it exclusive, will that hurt PlayStation? A fucking 100%. Of course it will. Like, so I honestly just think that's what it was. And this is, the fact that the only company or the only country that makes this stuff public knowledge is how we got it, you know.
yeah.
But let's hope it does. But so real quick, I was thinking, how confident are you that Xbox will put Call of Duty on Game Pass? Because I'm like 50-50. And that's just mostly
I
stemming
think they
from.
already said, I'm pretty sure, and I don't know where I've seen it, but they've already said that they're bringing it to Game Pass every year. Obviously, there's still going to be sales otherwhere. There's going to be collector editions and etc. But I think the standard edition will always be on Game
Yeah.
Pass, and they're going to bring it all there because
See,
they have the money,
my.
and it will make them. It will up the Game Pass subscription an insane amount. I don't know if they're going to raise the price, but they may not even need to because there's going to be so many new subscribers because you're going to think there's a lot of casual gamers out there just thinking of the fact that they will not have to literally go purchase any of the Call of Duties ever again. They can literally just go get Game Pass and they're good. They're set. Any Call of Duty that comes out, it's there day one. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to purchase it. Again, I think Game Pass is gonna skyrocket when this deal goes through because I bet you what they're gonna do, just like they did with Bethesda, as soon as it goes through, they're gonna bring all the classic Call of Duties to the Game Pass. They're gonna bring all the way probably to the brand new one, and they're just gonna bring it all there because it's smart and it's gonna bring their Game Pass up. And heck, they may even bring the Game Pass price up a little bit. Who knows? But
I think
they
they
have the
have to.
money. Yeah,
I mean,
but again, if they do this, like they're gonna get a shit ton more subscribers
yeah.
to it because you're not just having the Xbox, but you're gonna have the PC players too that love Call of Duty, and now they're gonna be able to get Game Pass and get Call of Duty day one. So
Yeah, but I think you
it's gonna be a
honestly
huge deal.
have to, if you're Xbox, you or Microsoft or whatever. I guess Xbox is a different entity from Microsoft, just like PlayStation is a different entity from Sony. They're just the controlling factors behind it. Um, I think they have to update Game Pass because just in my little pea brain of a fucking skull here, um, Xbox's annual profitability budget is, I believe in 2021, it was $9.7 billion. They're spending $70 billion on this deal. And they already just spent $8 billion on Bethesda. So you're telling me Microsoft is okay, but like, yeah, we'll make our money back in, I don't know, 12 years? Like, just my little pea brain of a mathematics of a skull, I don't see how those two things correlate in connection in terms of business stakes. That's just
I
me.
again, I really do think when this deal goes through, you got to think it's not just also the Game Pass subscriptions going up. But you got probably console sales are going to probably go up. I don't know by how much. I'm not going to say it's by like 200%, but it's going to go up. There's going to be a lot more subscribers on PC, I'm sure. You got to think of that because the more and more subscribers that keep going on there, the more and more they're just going to be making money every month from it. And people are going to forget about those subscriptions or they're not going to think about it. And it's just going to keep racking up. Now, I don't know. They might still boost it up because I'm sure, just like any other subscription service, it's bound to go up at some point. So it probably will go up, but I don't think it'll go up right away. It'll probably be within a year or so, and they'll probably boost it up a little bit more. But I do think they are probably going to make their money back. I don't know. I don't know how many years. I can't. I'm not a.
A
I don't
long
know the
time.
money
I mean,
profits and everything.
even if Call of Duty doubles Game Pass subscribers, you go from 24 million subscribers to 48 million subscribers. I mean, you're talking about, I'm not doing the quick math, but millions of dollars, right? So
Hmm.
we're talking about $70 billion. $1 billion
Yeah.
is hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm just saying,
But you also got to remember they have a lot of other things going too. They still have PlayStation buying too.
well, yeah, but it just, I don't know. And this is just talking about Game Pass. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Game Pass. Like, obviously, it probably will be. There's like a 90% chance it will be. But I also would not be surprised if Xbox just sells the game and they just own it and they make the full profits off everything. And people might wince about it, but they're gonna buy the Call of Duty game every single year or every other year or whatever ends up happening with the release schedule of these games. I just in my P brain, like I don't foresee Microsoft being okay with taking years and years and years to make their money back.
I don't know.
That's just me. I have no
I
clue. Yeah,
I
I have
think
too
in
small of a
some way or
brain for that.
form we're not thinking about something because like you also got to remember I think more and more people, since they're getting it on Game Pass, would be more and more willing to spend money on microtransactions as well in their games. Plus, you're forgetting about the entire mobile market too, which makes a stupid amount of money. I mean, they make an absurd amount of money on the mobile market. As soon as they bring Warzone to mobile, that thing is going to make bank. So one way or another, no matter what game and what strategy they do, they're going to be making a ton of money, even if they do just put it on Game Pass, which I'm pretty sure, again, I have seen things about as soon as Activision deal goes through, all those games will be coming to Game Pass. Now, I don't know for a fact if it's going to be every Call of Duty, but I guarantee at least the new Call of Duty is going to be on there. Um, but still, I think they're going to make a ton of money off of it. And again, I don't know all the percents and everything of what
Yeah,
audience and what their goal is, but they're business people, so they have some kind of strategy if they're going to be putting on Game Pass.
yeah. I mean, I just looked it up in Activision's profit margin. Sorry, in net game sales and everything that goes along with, so even including the microtransactions, was $5.1 billion in 2021. So, I mean, if you just add that in, we're still talking about a decade long to make the profit. I don't know. I'm going round and round in a circle. I'm just saying, I don't. I don't know the path here. I don't see how they make the money back in an acceptable timetable, a time period, without selling the game at full market. Because you talk about $5.1 billion. So each person that gets Game Pass that would have bought the game at $70, that is technically. Well, I guess no, it's not a loss because you talk 15 times 12. I don't fucking know. I'm not a mathematician. Let's just hope it stays everywhere because that would make sense. I remind people, PlayStation bought Bungie. Destiny's staying everywhere. Destiny makes a shit ton of money as well.
Exactly.
And all of Bungie games are staying everywhere. So let's hope maybe these two companies are starting to play a little nicer. I mean, sure, Xbox is still going to have their exclusive. PlayStation is still going to have their exclusive. That's what drives their console sales. That'll never change. Well, I'm not going to say never. It won't change for a long time, how these two companies drive their console sales forward. At least the bare minimum of the core response of it. But let's hope maybe they play better with these games. And maybe Activision can be like, yo, fuckers, I know you own us, but we make way more money than all your other studios. We want this game everywhere. They may have that amount of power.
I think no matter what, it's going to be on everywhere. I think they would know not to put it on one system, and I don't think even after the next 3 Call of Duties is going to be that way. But yeah, I mean, there already have some exclusive things kind of popping up. I believe the new Diablo game is only supposed to come to the Xbox and PC. So, and that's an Activision game. So there are going to be some
it's a
exclusive
Blizzard
games.
game, but they're one and
Yeah,
the
it's a
same.
Blizzard game from Activision. So yeah, so they're going to be bringing some. I guarantee Overwatch is going to be on everything because that's just where they're going with it. I'm sure it's going to be free to
Well,
play.
stuff like that is already been announced. Like stuff that's like you
Yeah,
said for the next 3 years. Microsoft can't break contractual agreements. They would just be screwed.
yeah,
Like the FTC would then step in and be like, "Yeah, no, we're taking this away from you," because these companies may have a lot of power, but the FTC comes in and says, "Yeah, you can't do this. There's nothing you can do about that. They own you,
yeah. No, but
motherfuckers."
yeah, I clearly they're going to use some things to be exclusive, but Call of Duty, I really just don't think there's a fear for it. I think it's going to be everywhere, always, unless like 20 years down the line Xbox is like, well, I mean, we made our money back, so I mean, if we want, we can just make it now that. But I mean, who
Oh,
knows?
20 years
That's
down
20 years from now.
20 years
So
down the road, we're gonna be playing games on the cloud on a floating fucking haptic feedback chair. So
exactly.
that sounds awful. I don't know why, but all right.
Yeah.
Going on to the final story on Around the Point, the 10th story. Speaking of Call of Duty, we're sticking right here because they have announced a showcase coming out on September 15th. Why did I get so confused by that? September 15th. In the write up, they said Activision Blizzard calls next. Wait, that's a weird ass sentence. Anyway, an era defining franchise event showcasing the immediate future of Call of Duty. They have gone on to say that the event will include information on the following: Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Warzone 2, Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, a reveal of Modern Warfare multiplayer, unannounced information and surprises. And then they said something about streamers playing the game, but I don't care about that. So that that takes place on September 15th. Immediately following that will be the set of open betas, September 16th through 17th, early access on PlayStation, September 18th through 20th, open beta on PlayStation, and then the second weekend, September 22nd through 23rd, early access on Xbox and PC, still open beta on PlayStation, and then on September 24th to 26th, open beta on all platforms. So, Logan, two-part question. Oh, are you excited about this? Well, obviously you're excited about this. Oh, what are some of the things you wanted to see? And are you going to be jumping in on the open beta September either 18th or September 24th or whenever? I'll probably jump in on one of the weekends and we'll play together. But
I'm
what do you
definitely
think?
jumping in on the PlayStation one, on the open one. Because again, I'm not probably going to pre-order this game. Probably something down the line. As much as I'm very excited for this game, I'll probably be waiting a little bit. I also just kind of want to see more of the game before I decide to get it. But yeah, I'm excited for the beta to come out. I'm excited for them to show some actual like legit multiplayer gameplay. I know they showed a little clip of some gameplay. I mean, it looks like 2019 but more refined. They showed off a new map and how they built it and everything. Looks pretty cool. Looks interesting. So I'm excited for them to showcase more of that, and also just some other maps would be cool. I am wondering if they're gonna bring gunfight back, like how they did with Modern 2019. That's how they showcased the game for the first time. So I wonder if in this streaming thing they're maybe be showing off that, or they're just gonna go straight into the normal modes. I hope they bring gunfight back because I think gunfight was a really cool mode because Modern Warfare 2019's gameplay was just that good. Like I really liked the gameplay in that. So I hope they bring that back. I'm excited to see not only Warzone 2, I hope Warzone 2 is just better. I hope they bring it back to the classic 2019 when it first started. I think that was probably the best it's ever been. I hope that if they kind of talk about how they're going to update it throughout the years, I hope they, as much as I don't like Fortnite, kind of hope they go for that approach when they update the game from now on, or they update Warzone. I think that's a superior way of doing it, where they only update parts of the map, not the entire map, because I think every time they've updated the entire map, it's just gotten worse and worse. So I think it's probably better if they go for more of a piece by piece method, kind of like
Well,
Fortnite.
the first two the dance maps, the one that came out with Modern Warfare and the one that came out with Cold War, those were kind of similar to what you're talking about. Like, yeah, they updated the whole map, but it was still the same map. They just updated
Yeah.
like the different POIs and then added one or two. But then when Caldera came out, was the whole new map and it was garbage. But well, not garbage, but it wasn't good. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see more of the game.
I
I,
guess also Warzone Mobile. I'm really curious to see how it's going to look and
yeah, I
how
mean,
it's going to play.
I've,
I also wonder if it's. I think we already talked about this, but I'm still just curious. Is it going to be a cross-play thing where you're going to be able to play with people on that, and you could just like because I mean I seen in your last episode you talked a little bit about this, but there's a big thing now with these the backbone and another one I seen recently
we
where
actually
it's
didn't get
controllers you
it.
plug.
We actually
Oh,
did
you
get around.
didn't?
We did get around to talking about it. We ran long on a lot of things, but yeah, there
Oh,
is
okay.
the new
But
backbone and PlayStation controllers and all that.
yeah, so like, and that's a new popular thing that's going on with mobile gamers. That hurts. But for mobile people that like to play on their phone, with the cool controller attachment, I think it could work if they did it cross-platform with stuff like that. I think it could work. I mean, heck, my phone can play some of the games at 120 FPS. That's more than what I could play on my TVs in my house, so or my apartment. So I think I'd be curious to see if they are going to do cross-platform or if it's going to be strictly just mobile. But yeah, I'm excited to still see that kind of stuff, and yeah, I'm just excited to see more Call of Duty. I hope this Call of Duty's great because I think Vanguard was not good. I never even played it, but I don't want to. It's actually the only campaign I think in Call of Duty history where I just don't care to play the campaign at all. I have no excitement for that game. So whenever you play it, Mike, you'll just have to let me know what you think because I don't think I'll ever play that campaign. This is probably actually the first Call of Duty I've never played and probably
Uh,
never will. So yeah.
all right,
Not yeah.
all right, folks. Well, that brings us to the end of Around the Point. If you have anything to say about anything we talked about, please comment down below. Go to our Patreon. Let us know. We will be happy to talk about it with you. We're going to wrap things up now. Go into the review roundup for this week. 2 Point Campus came out and got an 84. Super Bullet Break came out, got a 72. Lost in Play got an 84. Arcade Paradise got a 76. Cult of the Lamb got an 85. And then Marvel Spider-Man on PC got a 87. Logan.
Well, the games I like got scores, so I'm happy 2 Point Campus got an 84. Really happy for that.
Me too.
Same for Call of the Lamb 85. I know you are. And it's cool. I actually been watching a lot of videos on Marvel Spider-Man on PC. It looks super cool.
Yeah,
It looks very impressive.
there's already a black suit in there.
Oh, I know. The people I can't wait to see CJ from San Andreas flying around. Oh, I love that though. Maybe someday when I get the Steam Deck, I'll probably get Spider-Man and play it on the go. That'd be cool. So, but
All
yeah.
right. Out this week on August 15th, Fashion Police comes out on PC. MultiVersus Season 1 comes out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation. August 16th, Gloomword comes out on PC. Rollerdrome comes out on PS5, PS4, and PC. Blossom Tales 2, The Minotaur Prince comes out on Nintendo Switch and PC. August 17th, Kirby's Dream Buffet comes out on Nintendo Switch. August 18th sees Curse to Golf on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. RPG Time: The Legend of Right on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Thigh Messia, however you say that, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. We Are OFK comes out on PS5, PS4, and PC. And then Madden NFL 23 comes out on everything under the Earth's yellow sun. What do you got, Logan?
Oh, I'm so excited for Madden NFL 20.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh god.
I'm
I
starting
can't
to
wait to
feel
see
like Madden players don't even really care about Madden anymore.
no.
Like, it's getting to that
Um
point, right?
yeah, dude, I honestly just don't think the people that play this game really even notice at this point either. I just don't think they notice that it's bad. They're just like, it's football. So good.
Yeah, it's fair.
So yeah, I'm disappointed in them. But I as we've talked through, very excited about MultiVersus season 1 coming out today. Uh, that's really good. Can't wait to play it. Kind of curious about how Kirby's gonna score. I don't think it's gonna score very well, but I'm very curious to see how it does. And I heard Curse of Golf is pretty cool. It looks interesting. Do I know if I'm ever gonna play it? I do not know. Doesn't look that interesting, but it does look pretty cool in some ways. So I don't know, I'll have to keep my eye out. So other than that, yeah, I mean that's all I'm really excited for.
All
Not
right.
excited, but
Yeah,
interested.
I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our show. Everyone who has either been watching or listening, we just wanted to take this time and thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without your support, we could not be doing what we're attempting to be doing here, but please help us continue to grow by telling everyone how much you like us, how much you hate us, and everything in between here at the XP Podcast and the Experience Point. We would really appreciate that. Logan, any last words?
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Make sure to stop by and also listen to last week's episode where I wasn't there. I have to actually listen to that because I wasn't even there for it. So, yeah, as always, thanks for stopping by. Summer's ending, school's beginning, so that means the kids are gone. So exciting. And also shout out to our other member that joins us every so often, DJ, for having a baby. Congratulations. I didn't get to say that to him. Didn't he have a baby? Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yep, he did.
So, yeah, congratulations to him. So if everybody wants to say congratulations to DJ in the comment section, I know he would really appreciate it. And of course, as always, we appreciate you, Logan Leffler, as being our Patreon Platinum members pretty much since the beginning. Thank you again. It really does help us a lot. And yeah, I hope everybody has I don't know, a good end to the summer and well, here comes fall and guess what? Hey, it's Christmas. So, see you guys.
Once again, thanks everyone for listening and following along with us. We hope everyone has a great day, great week, sorry, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See you guys.
See ya.